I had a friend that we did like a presentation because I'm still in school, and like we did a presentation on Bitcoin in April of 2016.
Mhm.
And then I was like, should I fucking buy? Should I not? And I was like, I'll just wait. It'll probably drop because at the time it was like 300 or 400 bucks. And then by the end of the year, it was like 1,000, and now it's 20, or it was. But actually, I just started getting super into the actual tech maybe in the past 2 or 3 months, I would say, like maybe since October, November-ish.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I just recently got into the tech. Uh, I bought like I got lucky and I bought like in 2013,
Oh
like
yeah.
but not a lot. It was all my money, which wasn't a lot, which is it's like I put all my money in it, but uh, and then I remember it fell to 180, and I did the whole. My girlfriend found this great infographic of that describes all the psychology of traders,
Yeah.
and I did the ostrich and the Holt thing. Like I was like, all right, I'm just gonna like walk away from all this. Um, and then I came back when it was like 750. I was like, damn, this is going back. Um, like I made back my investment, and that's when I started looking into things again. Got into theorem. I was just like altcoin trading crap. I've been developing since like 2011. Um, about a year after school,
Yeah.
and now I'm super into the tech. Like I really want to be involved programming and contributing to like. I think this is a revolution, and I want to be part of it. Like I want to say
Yeah,
that,
for sure. I agree.
like it's
That's
cool. Like when you hear about my grandpa like built the railroad. Like I want to be the person that was building Bitcoin.
no, I agree. And I think it's fascinating. Like I didn't realize it until maybe like a month ago. I was like, holy shit, I've actually never felt like this about any
Any
technology before. And it just like I just want to constantly keep just soaking in as much as I can and shit like that. And
it's
it
so
is crazy.
it's so funny because like back in 2012, I remember um, I could have focused on anything. I focused on web development and Ruby on Rails,
Uh-huh.
and I mean that was the thing to get into. But
Yeah.
really, the thing to get into was this. This was the
Yeah.
thing to get into, not like fucking web development. Like who cares? Who cares if you make like high five figures or six figures? That means nothing. You could have made billions.
Yeah, for sure. And then at the time, it was like just not that popular.
Hmm.
I mean, like people maybe every once in a while you hear about it or you see something random on I don't know on a
Yeah,
forum or something.
crazy why I invested. Like I actually was working on this thing to predict the stock market based on
Hmm.
the options market. Like my
Okay.
theory was that if a stock is low market cap, and meaning like like 50 to 200 million dollars,
Yeah.
then it shouldn't have high call options on the
Hmm.
secondary market.
Yeah.
And because I noticed this one stock called Plug, and in 2013, and because my the chief operation officer of my company was like going to give a talk on options, and he used to run a hedge fund, so everyone was like, "Oh man, this is gonna be awesome. We're gonna be rich." um, and so I just started looking at like random stocks, and I saw that stock, and then like, dude, it went up like 10x in a few months, and I'm like, damn, um, maybe the call option was a trigger.
Interesting.
It turns out like it might not be, like,
It
because
was a coincidence, kind of.
it could be, it is really strange for something really low to have that kind of activity. And the news that came out later on was that they had a contract with the government,
Oh.
but that wasn't released until later. So the idea is that people were buying call options as a way to avoid the SEC, maybe because the SEC doesn't really look over. Um, Jonathan, Jonathan jumps in as soon as we talk to SEC. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Jonathan, I mean, like, when did the SEC? And by the way, I'm not assuming you know this. Do you know when the SEC started looking into the options market for like conspicuous activity?
I think his mic is not on either.
Yeah, Jonathan, I think your mic's not on. But anyway, that was the idea. So I built like a thing to um, like just scrape all of that data
Mm-hmm.
and then just run the analytics on it. And like while I was doing it, like while I was in the process of doing it, my friend's like, I was telling my friend who was like an investment banker for like in New York, and then he's like, "Yeah, I just bought Bitcoin." I'm like, what the fuck's Bitcoin? Because like this guy's like an investment banker, you know, like,
Yeah.
and he was super into the idea when I told him about like using the secondary market to predict using this strategy. And then all of a sudden he was like, Bitcoin. I was like, what the fuck's Bitcoin? He's like, yeah, I just bought a bunch. I'm buying as much as I can. I'm like, fuck, I need to buy Bitcoin. I didn't even know what it was.
Fuck yeah. At least you had like some like pretty good source telling you like this is what it is and like there's something happening. And I unfortunately I just didn't have that type of. Oh, I guess I was pretty young, like 2012, 2013. I was like right out of high school.
I wish
So,
I
like,
bought in 2012. Like I waited to 2013, like when it was 750, and because in 2012 it was like fucking two figures, you know,
yeah,
fucking crazy shit.
yeah,
I could have afforded a lot more than, even though I had like probably like $1,000 or $2,000. Like
yeah, but
I could
still,
have
it's
gotten
like
a lot more.
500 or 50 coins or something.
Yeah, it's like significant. Yeah, instead of like the 4 coins I bought in 2013. Um, Ethereum is really what made it for me. Like I bought a shit ton of Ethereum when it was like double digits low. That was great.
So, which one do you lean more towards, like Bitcoin or Ethereum? Like, which one do
That's
you like?
interesting. I actually do think Ethereum's got a great future.
Yeah,
Um, but Bitcoin, man, I mean, it's the true deflationary, true currency. It's the only true one out there. That, I mean, I believe it because like everything else out there, like even Litecoin. Look at Litecoin; it's like pre-mined heavily. So, like, is it good? I mean, yeah, I'm
yeah,
sure that's
it's a
good.
test net.
Yeah, like whatever. But um, it was heavily pre-mined. Like it's like it got it. It had the central authority, kind of.
Yeah. And that's the thing about like majority of them because I think that's it kind of applies to Ethereum too, which is why I'm like a little skeptical about Ethereum's future. I think it's like actually definitely great that it happened because I think it opened a lot of doors and showed people a lot of things. But kind of how like Ethereum came after Bitcoin, and then you have Neo and EOS and whatever all the other similar Ethereum copies that they're trying to do the same shit. I mean, like that's what spurs innovation. Like that's how it's gonna keep growing. Like this entire new industry and new space. So I
Yeah.
don't
You
know.
guys, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hey.
Oh, sweet. Hey, yeah, I've been listening. I just got my headphones all connected. So, yeah, interesting conversation. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. The only the way I see the difference between Ethereum and Bitcoin, though, is like Bitcoin can be run on any device in the future, including a freaking Raspberry Pi.
Mhm.
You settle back to this little small chain. But Ethereum, if you look at the chain size, how it's growing, it's like growing quadratically, and as any computer scientist knows that doesn't really scale. So like the inevitable end state to me for Ethereum, not that it doesn't have a strong value proposition, it's just like the inevitable. Let's say figure out sharding or something clever, like as it currently stands, it's going to be like entire just like a few data centers running, entire Ethereum nodes. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. I mean, I talked to I don't know how I managed to get this, but like I was talking to Hess, and they want me to like integrate smart contracts for them. The oil company. So I got to figure out like which which one I go with. Ethereum.
Oh, nice.
I have no idea like which one I go with. Ethereum, Neo, EOS, or like freaking Stellar, or like IBM's Hyperledger, which I shouldn't because it's centralized, but
or just, at least they're trying to do something.
Hey, Martin, by the way, good to see you. Hey, is Mark here too? Are you here?
He's like,
I'm not sure. But...
All right. Hey, by the way, Pavan, Haven. So, sorry, tell me how I didn't forget how to do the emphasis on your name again. Is it Haven?
It's Pavan. Mm-hmm.
Pavan. Okay, got it. Okay, I'll try to remember some. So yeah, by the way, I have some news. I've been actually going back and forth in emails today with Tim Draper. So
holy shit, dude, you're the most connected person. Holy shit, dude. I know like some.
Who is Tim Draper? Why does it sound so fucking familiar?
Tim Draper's the one who famously bought the 30,000 bitcoins from the government auction of Silk Road bitcoins. So this motherfucker is like totally in Bitcoin. He loves Bitcoin. He wears a Bitcoin tie, like to the freaking like whenever there's an IPO at the New York Stock Exchange, he's wearing a Bitcoin tie. He's on like Bloomberg, CNBC. He's always rocking a Bitcoin tie. So I'm like, screw it. I'm reaching out to Tim Draper, and I told Tim like, dude, I want you on board. I want you on my team. Like, I need your capital, not in a monetary sense. I need your capital in terms of, like, you can move people and like get people to take this crazy fucking idea we have seriously, and actually like think like get them thinking about it and think big. Because we gotta think big, like really big. So we're trying to tackle the whole inflation problem that's happening in Venezuela and basically bomb it with Bitcoin. Like airdrop on the whole fucking country with airdrop it. I mean, I'm telling the dude, he's like, how you gonna? He just keeps emailing me back with questions, and I just keep on, eliminating it. Like, I tell him straight up, I don't got all the answers, but dude, we gotta do this, and I need some capital with you, like you, join my side and others too. And I already told him, like, I'm gonna start reaching out to the Weekloss twins and freaking Peter Thiel and others, like, just let's go. So yeah, just trying to organize the movement.
So what are you? Because I remember that you mentioned something in the chat, but like, have you kind of like narrowed it down, and do you have like?
We don't have all the answers, but like the initial concept is just like it's basically in a sentence, like you basically go and you raise $300 million of real hard-earned capital. And you go airdrop $10 each on basically the 30 million people in Venezuela by text message to their cell phone. You make it really cumbersome for them to unlock it, so that someone with a cell phone carrier can't easily just claim them all. But you kind of make it cumbersome, and then you just say, okay, let's see one of the grandest social experiments in the history of the world, and see what happens when you do that. And I was like, you get the government involved to do it. That's $100 a person. $3 billion would be the cheapest war like ever fought ever. Like, let's just do this, like, I mean, like, I think like big freaking scale, like, let's do this, what the hell do we have to lose, and I know he believes in the idea and concept of Bitcoin being world changing thing, not just it's being not just it as a financial instrument, that he can profit off of. And so he immediately responded back, and, he keeps on I just give him these really long answers, and give him all the details, and he just keeps replying like with one more question, like just one question at a time. So I'm like, okay. And I showed this to another guy here who I'm networking with, and he's connected me with some other VCs, and they've also expressed interest immediately in New York. I've already had one agree to meet with me. I told him, like, and he actually turned out this guy I'm talking to, he knows Tim Draper's son, Billy. And he said, basically, he's like, dude, I'm sold. He said, if Tim stops responding, he says, I'll go pester Billy to annoy his dad to start, keep following up. And so I'm like, sweet, thank you. And I'm just like, basically, I'm not taking no for an answer. I'm like, I'm on a goddamn mission. I'm on a, like, what I mean? I'm like, I want you on a part of this, but I'm going to keep going. Basically, I'm probably in crazy mode. But that's just what it takes sometimes. So yeah, it's exciting. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of problems, but it's like we just gotta start somewhere. And I'm like, dude, just need people who are smarter than me about everything. Just get people involved, make it more of a movement, inspire people to think big and contribute however they can. Like
Oh yeah.
enlisting the military, no one's, almost no one's turned away. You just, create a foundation and do it.
Have you managed to find like a good Venezuelan contact? Like, because
Yeah, so that's another one of the things I need. If you have one, that'd be great. Or someone
that's what I was trying to think. Like, because like that'll be like very big. Because like Venezuela is like, I don't know if you guys saw this Medium post recently, like a couple of days ago. Like some guy interviewed some miner in Venezuela that he was like kind of talking how like shady the whole mining business is there, but like almost everyone is doing it, even for the tiny, tiny fractions of amounts of Bitcoin they get. But
Yes.
their electricity costs like 0.0001 to 5 kilowatt hours, like cents per kilowatt hour. So
The
that's
government subsidized from
insane.
their oil money, but that because it's so heavily government subsidized, the government comes along and cracks down on it, and it's illegal to basically mine it there.
Yeah, and you have to like tell the government who you are and what you're
Yeah,
doing.
but they
Yeah.
haven't cracked down on cryptocurrencies yet. But I think if we basically ripped power away from the government by airdropping this on everyone, that's part of the idea. You airdrop on everybody, all basically almost at the same time. So
What happens if the government fights back and says like, "Hey, this is bullshit. You can't do that."
that's what we kind of got to put this. It's a huge logistical challenge. We got to
Yeah,
figure this all out, But one of the nice things about Bitcoin is you can kind of conceal it, right? It's not like carrying dollar bills around. Um,
I agree.
so and I'm telling Tim straight up. I'm like, dude, there's a lot of what ifs. What the hell do we have to lose? Let's just do it. Let's just, I know just as much about how it's gonna try as you do. I'm like, it could be a miserable, disastrous failure. But let's just try it. It's basically it's a gigantic social experiment. Let's do it. It's like we're in a race against time because at this point they're gonna, once they lose electricity, that's the one thing I got going for them. If they lose that, then it's game over, and they're straight back to Stone ages. So, you know, yeah, it's a freaking crazy idea. Admittedly, it's in fact it's insane, but it's like it's so crazy. It just might work, So, and I'm like, well, if not now, then when? It's just one of those things where it's like, you're not gonna try now, then when? Never. It's like this is exactly what Bitcoin's original promises were supposed to, this is one of the original promises of Bitcoin, right? To save shitty, basically save citizens, in hyperinflation countries from, shitty, monetary policies, just free them from monetary tyranny and give them some sound money to rebuild an entire freaking economy off of, and
Jonathan, it's fucking
yeah,
amazing, man.
yeah,
Also, by giving them Bitcoin
yeah.
and them transacting with it, like it would make Bitcoin worth so much more.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I mean, there's no reason not to do that. I'm like, I pointed that out to him too. I'm like, Tim, come on, god damn it! Like, I said, I told him, I was like, I said, look, he's like, keep the questions rolling in, and I'll work to knock them out every day after work. Just keep it rolling in. I said, thanks for creating crazy enough to, listen to me so far and listen to this crazy eyes and crazy ideas. Like, I said, I'm like, Tim Jammer's a little bit crazy too. I knew that he'd probably like it. It's kind of like this. It's a freaking crazy idea.
You're gonna make us all 5x richer.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell? We have to lose, right? Too. It's like I'm not doing this for a paycheck. I told him, like, by the way, I mentioned you too. I said, dude, I got Pavan, here by my side too, and I'm sure he would be. He doesn't need. He's just like me. He's not doing it for a paycheck. We're both quitting to this. Like, I'm thinking in my head, like, dude, just like being able to like network with the same network that we can probably get doing this project is reason enough for me to join. If I'm just doing it for selfish reasons. It's just because no one wants to say no to this. Everyone wants to, they'll say I either will help you with money or connections or.
This is exactly what that white paper was made for, right? Like,
yeah,
2008 financial crisis, like,
yeah, it's the first time we're seeing an opportunity to do it, to like do something about it.
Yeah, it's
just that people are educated enough to know it. And there's one thing I learned from Peter Thiel, and Peter Thiel says that, he said he realized that whenever you send money to people, it's never, whenever someone, basically sees free money, they're always going to take it, and so you just have to get people to send it. The receiving is the easy part. Everyone's going to receive it all at the same time. So again, I was like, what the hell do you have to lose? Do it. They will go in and create an account. That's a lot of money to them actually. So
Yeah, I wonder what the buying power of a dollar must be fucking humongous.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard like I don't I saw somewhere I didn't even I've just my life's been so crazy that I haven't been able to verify anything. Like it's like a citation needed, but I basically I read somewhere they said like the average minimum wage salary was like $2 a month, but that sounds outrageously low to me. I don't That doesn't sound right to me, but I don't know. That's what I read. Maybe it's because of hyperinflation, and I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe I should read it wrong, but that's what I remember reading. Um,
Yeah, who
I don't know
knows? With
if I-
hyperinflation, like I would take 1 cent of American money over my own currency. You know what I mean? Like, or like
yeah,
some Bitcoin over like anything.
yeah, yeah.
Um, dude,
Hmm.
that's like super exciting. Dude, you're like, I don't know how you do what you do, but
Thanks,
you're better
man.
than
I'm just trying.
anybody.
I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm just like not looking forward to have to basically sit my job tomorrow and I mean the one I say tomorrow. Okay, it's actually not so bad because now that I'm in this new role doing blockchain research, I'm going to be sitting down and doing these very exercises that we're now you know talking about right now. So I've been actually working through them, and I'm so freaking. So this maybe pivots to what we're going to discuss tonight. But like I was actually trying to figure out like I actually couldn't wrap my head around the thinking, the rationale behind thinking, the thinking behind that how you said like when you see infinity you think zero whenever
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't get that stuff. I mean I kind of yeah. Let me find it. Hold on. Hold on. Sorry.
Yeah, that's definitely what we're going to talk about today. I think, like, I really do. I really want to understand all of session one like super well. But do you guys want to start off like going through the slides right now?
Yeah. Can you hold 1 second? I totally forgot. I'm doing laundry. It's Sunday after all.
No problem, man. Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, yeah, it's exciting, man. I don't know. It's just I'm just happy that everyone's very enthusiastic. I have like I carry my little iPad around with me everywhere, and I just whip out my iPad and I just I can sell it really well because I just start whipping out like the same stuff that I posted in the group chat, just like the graphs and charts of inflation and I show them the article and I show them like, look, this is like 4 weeks ago I was at 3 weeks ago I was at 4,000%. They were saying it may get to 5,000 by February. I'm like, well, we already blew through that. I'm just like kind of like just lay it out for people in a in a simple to understand way, and then I tell them like when there's this lightning network thing, and I'm like 99.99999% of people out there, and even 99% of people in
All right,
big
I'm back.
aren't aware of like how much the transaction fees have cratered. I'm like, let's take the two of these together and see what we can do. Like I think it presents a great opportunity. So
Dude, you're selling it. You're passionate about it, and dude, Tim Draper, you fucking crushed it, dude. That's amazing.
yeah,
You're the
thanks a
best
lot. I never
networker I've
thought
ever heard
I
of.
just cold emailed him.
Ridiculous. That's
I just
ridiculous.
and he responded, and I was like, and I wrote my long ass first email, and I'm like, and I started by saying, dude, Tim, I know this is a long ass email, but really, it's worth your time. Bear with me. And I tried I tried to bold the juicy parts. So if you did nothing else, hopefully with that. And I don't know. You just keep on responding with like one question responses, and so that's a good sign.
That's ridiculous. That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah,
Every time I emailed, like out of all the CEOs I emailed or in-mailed, I got like I think 2 or 3 responses out of like 30 I emailed or in-mailed,
yeah,
which is like pretty
yeah.
good. But like Tim Draper, that's insane.
What did you
Yeah.
email those CEOs about?
Trying to get a deal. So
Oh, okay.
it's a little bit different than
Yeah.
his
Mine's
revolutionary
this revolution
email.
inspirational, like I'm not asking for your goddamn money, I'm asking for you to just be part of this, like what I mean, like it's like, and people kind of like tilt their heads like, okay, wow, okay, this is very like, this is you don't see that every day, right? So I mean I know it too, and that's why I also want to take on this mission, because it's like people want to do it, right? People are eager to help. They're just like, well, tell me how I can help. I'm like, dude, you just send me any information, articles, resources, contacts, like go on an idea, anything you come up with, just send it my way. Don't assume I know. Like I get the craziest ideas. Like this guy yesterday, he gave me this totally thinking outside the box. I think I shared it with you guys. Yeah. He said, He's like, why don't you just reach out like the CIA? He said the CIA loves this sort of stuff. That's what they do.
That's
And I was like,
insane.
that's actually probably a good idea. You never know. He's like, just talk to him. He's like, before you know, or you talk to, they may point like you're literally before you're innocent. Innocent may literally already have like a record of every freaking person's telephone number in Venezuela. You know, and I was like, yeah, just try like.
Wait,
there you go.
Jonathan,
That's
do
like,
we are we like is the U.S. government like friendly with Venezuelan government, or are we like
No.
do we want their government to fall?
I don't know, but I imagine that we want them to fall.
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
don't think that we want to destroy
We
people
want their
right
oil.
now. But that's just
We
what
want
we're
their
effectively doing
oil.
that anyways. We just started sanctioning them. Like we put, pretty heavy economic sanctions on this last month, I think, and it's not helping all these innocent people clearly, but it's designed to punish the government. But, governments always hold on to their power until it literally just ruins everyone's lives, not just until it starts ruining their own too, and then they're out, and the whole just leave the whole country in a big burning pile. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah. So anyway, that's my little getting it all out. So so that's what I'm doing in my free time.
Why are you focused on Venezuela?
Good question. So because
I didn't mean to laugh. No, I mean wait till you hear this. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Maybe at least show you a link. It kind of actually, can I roll a webcam easily on this thing?
Yeah, there's a chat over here if you want.
All right. Do you see me? I think I just started my video. I don't see my video. Like, you see me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we see.
All right. I don't see myself. But anyway, so like I just whip out my iPad, I was saying, and I start showing people charts, and I just start by one of the ones I show them is like this one, and basically this is like the world's countries with the highest inflation, and one stands out, that's Venezuela. All these other ones are like there's Congo with like 40%, but Venezuela in this chart's like 1,200%. That's already way out of date. So it's like if you're gonna make a minimal viable product, you focus your resources on one thing. So I was like telling Tim Draper, let's do this. I already got a name for it. We're gonna call it bombing with Bitcoin, and it'll be Operation Venezuela. You just kind of think of it like a military mission. It's like a mission. You don't really care how you do it. It's a mission that drives everything. So I literally told Tim Draper, I'm like, dude, I want like, are you gonna enlist, soldier? Like, what? Like, he doesn't respond to these little cheeky things I say, but he's at least responding. So, here's the annual inflation rate last few years. Lately again.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I figured that was the main reason, but I just wasn't sure if you had something else in mind.
No, it's just because that's the one where it's
that's the one that would actually
high and it's accelerating. And it's well on its way to total economic collapse, because right now they keep on paying their government workers by printing more money, so which pushes that more money in the economy. So then the next round, the next month, they're printing even more money. So it just keeps accelerating. It's a death spiral. Yeah, it's gonna be like 100,000, or maybe 300,000 or more. By the end of the year. So
that happened to Greece too, right, Jonathan?
I don't think it happened to that degree, but I don't know. I actually don't know the amounts. I mean,
because they went bankrupt. Their government went bankrupt
multiple times.
Yeah, I remember like looking at the National Bank of Greece in when was it 2012, and I was like, this seems like they can't go bankrupt again.
Yeah, well, it's so crazy about Greece because I'm from Bulgaria, and like Bulgaria is like right next to Greece, and I've been to Greece like multiple times, and they're like some of the coolest people you've met. Like they're actually super. That's the problem actually, because they're way too chill. Like they're lazy, and they don't give a fuck. Like they just want to like hang out and like drink beer and eat like nice food, Mediterranean food, and just not give a flying shit about anything.
But it's crazy because like all I know about Greece is like are all those encyclopedias that I read when I was like a really young kid about like the gods and how they like weren't they really wealthy at one point, like a really wealthy nation? Or I might be thinking of another country.
Like how far back?
Like really far back.
Yeah, because
like BC.
Yeah.
They were the intellectual like hub and capital of the world. You had like I think it's like where, he had Plato and Aristotle and all that stuff. All those guys.
So they were like America back in the day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, that was, and then that became ultimately what became, I think, the capital shifted, but I think that ultimately is what turned into the Roman Empire. And I don't know actually about that. I think that might be the case. Anyway, so
no. Roman Empire and them, I think, completely different.
Okay, okay. Yeah. So anyway, but it was definitely like the like cultural center of its time. Maybe China was doing its own thing too. But two different worlds are
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, a funny story. A guy from the Amsterdam group is Bulgarian, and I reached out to him, and he didn't really respond. It was way weird, because there's not that many Bulgarians, and especially if I meet a Bulgarian within this little tiny community, it's fucking huge. And the guy wasn't very excited. It was kind of weird. I was actually pretty excited, but
sorry, dude. That sucks. But I'm excited.
I don't give a fuck that that it was just weird.
Yeah.
That I reached out to him or whatever, but at the same time, I thought I was hey, finally, maybe there is hope for Bulgaria. Maybe there is people that don't really care only about some bullshit shit coins and scams and shit. All the old people do in Bulgaria right now, they're mining. And
that's insane.
It's crazy. But I keep telling people this is one of the technologies, the crypto space is one of the first technologies that Bulgarians have been able to keep up with from the very, very beginning. Right now, pretty much.
That's
it's
crazy.
Interesting. Yeah. But, oh well, it is what it is.
Yeah, surround yourself with the people that make you happy, and then just physically and mentally avoid the people that don't. Right? That's my philosophy.
No, I agree. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, let's.
What's his name? The founder of Y Combinator. What's the guy's name? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know why I'm not
something.
Nah, he said I'd be that guy. Anyway, he basically has this great post that talks about how you should relentlessly prune bullshit from your life. Sorry, what?
Sam Altman?
No,
that's what I was thinking.
He's the president. He's the president.
Oh.
God, I know his face. I know. Gosh, it's just anyway. Any other moment, I would know his name, but it's not coming right now. But Paul Graham. Paul Graham, right?
Paul Graham. Okay.
Yeah, Paul Graham. He has a great. I highly recommend you guys read this time. It's really worth the time. It takes 5 minutes. It's just you can Google it. It's called relentlessly pruning bullshit in your life. He's there's no other better way of saying it. There's just so much bullshit out there. He's just prune it. Life is too short. Yes, there you go. Just prune it. He's people talk, they say flat out lies and fabrications about it online, and he's really tempted and has this urge to reply back. So that's not true. That's not true. But he's he just realized life's too short to even waste time with that. Just prune it. Get rid of it. It's just such a waste of time.
Awesome.
And so I actually abide by that philosophy.
I should be reading his blog.
It's amazing. It's one of the best. I haven't read a lot of them actually, to be honest. But I've been told by a couple people this is one of the best ones. So.
I just love how his blog is super 90s.
I mean, this is a guy who advised literally thousands of startups.
Yeah.
Who knows how many billionaires he's created? So this one guy knows what he's talking about for advice. This is it. This is
I like it.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. I actually really like it because it's just some crazy ass guy that you see his fucking blog and it's not even using HTTPS and it's just super basic.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
All
right, let's get this going because I have school shit to do after this.
I'm excited.
All right, guys. Let's see. So we got the elliptical function right here, and Jimmy, this was point addition, right? That's what he was showing us over here. Yeah. All right, cool. And then here, this is the part that confused me a bit. So I just researched it a lot better. F sub 137.
Yeah, so 137 numbers in that finite field. So you module that whatever you're multiplying, right?
Yeah, that was basically the big thing from it. And what was weird was like I kept looking up finite fields and prime
Mhm.
fields,
Sorry,
and then what'd you say?
oh, I was just saying I'm back. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so like you could like a finite field is different from a prime field because a finite field, this number can be prime or a prime square.
Oh, really?
And then a
Okay.
prime field is when this number is just a prime. So that's what I learned about like prime field. I took a shit ton of notes on it.
So, so a prime field is only when the number is prime, but when it's a finite field, it could be both. So
Yeah,
a
it could
prime
be
number
prime. It
or
could
a
be prime
square.
or prime power.
Yeah.
A
Okay.
prime field
Yeah.
is a finite field, though, right?
Yeah. A
Yeah.
prime field is a finite field. Mhm.
Got it. Yep. Okay.
And this was cool. Like in this video, let me send you guys the video for it. But he did a really good job in explaining things. And the guy, this professor, like he replies to all comments. It's fucking amazing. So if you have a question, like I asked like multiple questions in the comments over there, but he was showing how like f sub 6 can't exist because 6 is not a prime, but like you can't add like 1 plus 5 is 6. No wait, 4 plus 5 is what was the example that he gave? 6 is not prime. 2x equals 1, so you can't get it because you need 2x. Yeah, so 2 times x equals 1, and you can't do that because yeah. So every operation needs to happen, right? Like you can do 2 times a number here, and you'll get 5, right? But in this example, there's nothing in this set that you can multiply by 2 to get you 1, right? Like 2 times 5 is 10, 10 mod 6 is 4, but it's not 1. 2 times 4 is 8, 8 mod 6 is 2. Wait, 2 times 4 is 8.
Mod
8
6
mod
is
6,
2.
yeah, it is 2, yeah. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 mod 6 is 0. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 mod 6 is 4. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 mod 6 is 2. 2 times 0 is 0. 0 mod 6 is 0. So, like, there's nothing you can do. So that's why this is not a finite field.
Huh. So that is that like
because of the operation of multiplying by 2 and seeing if it's 1.
Exactly. Like when you multiply by 2, you need to be able to get 1, and
for at least one of them, or for all of them.
For just one, right? Like
One.
you should be able to get
Okay.
you should be able to
Got
get
it.
like every number from another number in the set.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that was that. This helped me a lot in understanding it. And then this was like really advanced in the video. This is what like I had trouble with a little bit, but I spent like an entire day on it, so I understood it then. But I don't think we go over this, but it's f sub 9, which is a finite field because 9 is a prime power.
Mm-hmm.
And he shows how you can't really prove that it's a finite field with numbers. So he uses polynomials to represent the 9 numbers. So he uses these 9 polynomials over here. And then he proves that it's closed under under multiplication and addition, which is enough because the opposite of multiplication is division, the opposite of addition is subtraction. So all you have to do is prove that's closed under multiplication and addition, meaning that if you multiply 2 numbers if you multiply this by this, then you get another number in the set.
Always?
Always, yeah.
Sure.
That's what you need that to happen.
That's the definition of it being closed.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, we moved through that like super fast in the class. I mean, everything was super fast, but
yeah,
that was scary to me because I came into the class when he was like, "What's 3 plus 9?" And I was like, in my head, 12, and then everyone else said another number, And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Because everyone said the same number. And I'm like, I don't belong here. I'm stupid.
Yeah, that's totally.
I'm like, what was I thinking coming here?
Like, 1 plus 1 is 10.
Yeah, I was just like, God damn it. I was like, I thought because I knew Python and Jupyter, that'd be fine, but no. Yeah, and whenever he said Z is the integer number universe, so it represents all integer numbers.
Oh yeah, I remember that from discrete math.
Yeah.
Or I just reminded myself.
Are you taking that right now?
Yeah, no, I've taken it. I took it like a year ago or something.
What's your major, Martin?
I'm doing information systems, which is like half business, half tech, and I did a CS minor.
Damn. Yeah, dude. Like if I was taking school now, like I would take it so fucking seriously. Like I would just
taking it like the exact opposite. To me,
really?
School is so fucking retarded. It's just like there's very, very few classes that really matter. And
oh really?
And for the most part, it's just dumb. I can't wait.
Dude, I took like a cryptography. I took a number theory and cryptography, and like I didn't give a fuck about it because I was just like, whatever. This isn't gonna matter. I'm not gonna work for the NSA or anything. And then then Bitcoin comes out. And I'm like, fuck.
I audited like the cryptography.
Oh, Jonathan lost you, man.
That in, just kind of like listened to it for like 2 weeks, and then I just kind of like just oh.
No, we caught you back. Yeah, so
cool.
we all didn't pay attention during the important classes.
Yeah.
But we're here now. I think that's a great thing about the world today. Like it's so easy to jump back in to school.
Yeah, that's something I need to learn now too, because I realize how easily you can network with people now online and find Jimmy songs of the world and teach you, and then go take classes with people like that. Whether in person or through some online course or whatever, Coursera or whatever. And so I'm just excited that I got to that next level along with yourself, Pavan. It's like, okay, now I quit my job today and be fine, like for a very long time. I could just take time.
It's a comforting feeling, right?
Yeah.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
You'll get there, Martin.
You'll get there. You're well on your way. You're doing the right things. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, have you guys seen like the Bitcoin Edge tutorials and all that shit? Because I think there is an elliptic curve one on there as well that I think it's actually from Jimmy.
Yeah. So I think I put that in my Bitcoin Edge YouTube.
Yeah. I have a website too. It's bitcoinedge.org.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like John Newberry has like a bunch of presentations on there. Yeah, Jimmy has foundational math, ECDSA, and transactions.
Is it under tutorials?
Yeah.
Edge. Oh, this is great.
This is fucking awesome.
Yeah, there's like 10 or so videos that seem pretty fucking awesome.
Did you guys start reading that book?
I actually started reading it before we even went to the.
Good for you, man. Did you get pretty far in it when you came in?
No, when I came in, I had finished like the first 2 or 3 chapters. So actually not that many, yeah. And I started reading it on GitHub because it's like on GitHub and everything. But it's actually kind of nice to have it in my hand because I've been reading it ever since like I'm like chapter 5.
I get so distracted on the computer, so like I think reading this like in the library would be just better for me. But the big, I didn't even get through chapter 1. Like I was reading the pre chapters.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. Like he was talking about leafcutter ants and how advanced leafcutter ants are compared to our society. Like leafcutter ants, there are millions of leafcutter ants. They cut leaves and they farm a fungus that they eat from the leaves. And then they even spray pesticides on the leaves. And then they have like a trail of millions of ants from the leaves to their underground tunnels. And dude, it was crazy. Like, it's decentralized. Their traffic is like their entire society is completely decentralized.
I don't think
And
I
it
read like
works.
the pre-chapter stuff. I mean,
Oh,
actually,
the pre-chapters are fantastic. Like,
I
it's
usually
kind of,
do, but I don't know why I didn't read it.
dude, you gotta read it because it's kind of cool seeing like who contributed to the book, and
Yeah.
like, and I'm like, damn, the SF Bitcoin devs contributed a lot to the book, and I'm like, I gotta go there and meet these people that contributed to this book that I'm reading.
Do you live in San Francisco?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll hit you up in March. I'm coming for like a week.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hit
should
me
we
up.
grab a beer or something?
Yeah, I should be. Hopefully, I'm there. I might be in Chicago, but they keep changing the date on me. So I think I'll be there at least till March 3rd or March 4th.
Oh, I'm going like March 20th till like the 25th.
Okay. Well, if you stop by Chicago, maybe.
Are you
where
moving?
are you, Martin?
I'm actually in Salt Lake City.
Oh, really? Salt Lake
Yeah.
City.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll find a reason to go there.
It's cool to visit.
To a meeting.
Yeah. There's actually kind of a community here, but it's definitely not very.
Martin hates Salt Lake City.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just fucking over it. Like, it's way too different for me. Like,
is it not? It's Utah's probably beautiful, right?
It's beautiful. It's awesome to visit for a couple weeks, maybe even a month. But at the same time, if you come live here, it's so fucking boring, and it's like just this old people's town almost. Like I need a car to go everywhere.
It's a very conservative culture. Like it's not that thinking outside the box sort of, inspiring sort of culture.
Yeah.
Well, San Francisco, it's like it's got a lot of money, right? But in terms of like being creative, like I know it is there. It is there. Don't get me wrong at all. Like, but it's too expensive for creativity to really thrive. Like creativity thrives when you have little risk, right? So to me, it's kind of annoying how expensive it is. Not for me, but just like I think there could be a lot more culture in New York and San Francisco if there were more affordable options. Like people would start even more companies than they are right now. Than if it was just a little bit more affordable, which I think would be better for the GDP of the country. If like.
I think that's true. I think it's it's a lot easier to start startups, for example, in Hong Kong because it's very hands off government, low bureaucracy. It's just easy and fast to get things going. There's not a lot of red tape.
And no capital gains, right?
Yeah, no capital. I think they only have basically two taxes. I think they basically have no capital gains. Yeah, no capital gains. Yeah, just income tax and I think a corporate tax, and you deduct one off the other, so it's, in effect, it's just one big tax.
I had no idea. Texas has no income tax.
Yeah,
crazy.
I grew up there. That's why they're doing so well. It's just like they often create more jobs there than the other 49 states combined. I know that was the case several years in a row, at least a few years ago. I don't know if it still is. It's just exploding because of that. The downside, the catch is they have very high property taxes. Actually,
I saw that.
It's the same. My parents live in New Hampshire. Like they moved here to the U.S. like when I moved here, like in 2012. But they lived in Boston for a little bit, and then they realized that half an hour away is this state called New Hampshire, and this little city that's called Nashua. And there's no income tax, there's no sales tax, but there is property taxes that are a little bit higher. But it's still better to live there and pay the property taxes only.
It's insane. Like my parents live in New Jersey, and New Jersey is like the worst state ever. Like it has the worst property taxes. It's like number one for property taxes. And it's got really high sales tax, and it's got a really high income tax. It's got higher everything than New York. And the only reason you move to New Jersey is to be near New York. Like there's no other good thing about New Jersey.
And all the exchanges.
Well, the one thing you have to work is no city income tax.
True.
God, fuck. Not many cities have a city income tax.
Okay,
right.
So let's go back to this thing.
Get back to it and maybe try not to go off some random tangent.
Yeah, let's. So I think I get this part right here. Do you guys have any questions on this?
Let's
Yeah,
see.
just plug them in and get the answer.
Yeah, for the most part. But again, like, because this is the point addition, there was something finicky about it, wasn't there? I'm trying to think. So the
Yeah,
only thing, like, if you go back,
yeah, sure, yeah.
let me pull up. Yeah. So so what was the S?
Uh,
That,
that's
that
a
was
good question.
that's a slope.
Well,
That's a slope.
the slope of the line
Yeah.
that is tangent to the elliptical curve at a point, I guess.
Yeah, and then I was actually kind of going through this really quickly like a couple of days ago, and I didn't really spend much time on it, so I can figure it out. So x3 and y3, how did they derive these equations? Do you know?
Yeah, I didn't look into that. But did you happen to look into it?
No, I didn't. That's why I was
So wait, I
look
have
into it.
some stuff on point addition. Give me one sec. Let me see if I can find it. Um,
Not there. It probably doesn't matter to know it completely
no, because
off.
like I really want to understand this stuff. So like I
Yeah,
get it.
same.
Like
I
yeah,
think this is actually where I stopped studying. I was kind of confused too on
yeah. So I found
where this
these
is, yeah,
links.
how these were derived.
Yeah, I found these links right here, and they could be helpful. Um, there's this point addition calculator, which could be fun to use. Uh, and I thought these were good. I thought this was like a crazy explanation, but I think this goes through the proof of point additions over finite fields, which is exactly what we're doing. Yeah, here we go. That's a little confusing. An elliptical group. They mean a mathematical group that's also an elliptical function. This was confusing, by the way, but those other links are a lot easier to digest. But this was the one that I think goes over the proof of point addition right here.
All right.
Or maybe
I
this is
guess
just a question.
I guess after all, like we're not doing the point addition manually. It's just more of like kind of knowing about it. Like that's how you create a public key, pretty much, right?
Yeah, it's a relationship between a public and private key. It's the
Yeah.
ECDSA. That's the whole big thing about it. But yeah, I do want to understand the math behind it also. Um, let's see. This link is it's a lot more digestible.
Should we
I mean,
start
this is what
reading
we
that so we
saw.
don't like spam all those guys? But I guess I mean
Oh
that's
yeah, you're right. Yes, I shouldn't spam them. I'll just chat here.
Sorry, let me know if it's too noisy. Like outside my room, they're having a party and watching the Grammys.
All good. Let's see.
I mean, the antisocial one. Like, I'm gonna go be a hermit in my room, close the door. So you lift your curves.
it's the right way.
This is weird. Was it like, how did they get? That's crazy, right? Or it's not because I guess you feed into that function, right? -1, 0 plus 0, 1 will get you 2, 3.
Yeah, I don't understand that, and I never really understood the whole reflecting it over the x-axis thing either.
Me
How that
neither.
somehow is equal to p plus q.
Me neither. I
I
wonder if
I
we did plug in
observed.
-1, 0, 0, 1. Let's see. Would we actually get? It's so much easier to do math on pen and paper.
Yep.
Let me get my pad out. Interesting. S equals 1 in this case. So oh yeah, Jimmy said that this 127 should be a 27.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what the hell is that though? Is that part of the formula? Let's see. Yeah, it is.
Oh, go back. Oh, wait, oh.
Go back to this.
Yeah. 107. Sorry, 106 over 27 is equal.
So it's 128 minus 22 divided by 73 minus, or 46 minus 73.
I'm just going back to this real quick, just to get the formula.
137. Maybe make it a little small on your screen. You can see both.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, there we go. And so 27 to the 135th. Where's that come from?
Where does what come from?
Where does what does to the 135th power come from?
Oh, that's p minus 2. Remember, that's from Fermat's little theorem.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's to get it to be. Oh yeah, I got it. That's Okay, yeah, that's basically, so that's equivalent of 1 over 27. Got it. Okay, so I get it now. So 106, it's just like the numerator, times 1 over 27, which is 1 over 27 is the same thing as 27 to the 135th power, because it's 27 to the p minus 2. Yep. 27 to the p minus 2 is the same thing as 1 over 27.
Where did the minus 2 come from? Do you remember?
Yes. So you had to derive it. I actually did this. I could probably let me see if I have it. I think I have this. I can share my screen. Let me find it first. Where did I put it? Here it is. I got it. Okay. How do I share my screen?
Go for it. Just click share screen.
Share screen. Okay. You see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so starting here, we have Fermat's little theorem.
Mm-hmm.
P to the p minus 1 is 1. And then notice that, 1 over n.
Yeah, is n raised to the negative
into the negative 1. Yeah, and just keep going from here. So n to the negative 1, I'm just doing like really big baby steps. So into the negative 1 is the same thing as n to the negative 1 times 1. This is 1 right here. So into the p minus 1 is 1. So now you just do algebra where you say, well, okay,
it's p minus 2.
Yep, and so that's where it comes from. That's how you derive it. So all you're doing is multiply by 1 in order to derive this.
So n.
Oh wait, Jonathan. You're multiplying n to the p minus 1. I mean, n to the negative p on both sides, right? To get negative n to the negative 1 on its own.
They're just
I'm starting
times 1.
Yeah, I'm starting with n to the minus 1, and then I'm saying, and then I'm just saying, okay, well that's equal to. This is not an equation. Sorry, it's like these are different steps.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Maybe that's like piece of work. So, it's like that. So I'm just converting it. So, so then this is the same as multiplying it by 1, because that's 1, yeah. Right? And then you combine the exponents to be with p minus 2 in order, and so that whole thing is equal to n minus 1.
And then you necessarily, like, even on that row, n to the negative minus 1 times n to the negative times n to p minus 1, you need a mod p in there as well, right?
Yeah, on all these steps, yeah. Yes. Okay. Why do this?
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, I think I know my head. It's just mod p. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's yeah. Too much noise. So yeah, it makes sense.
I think so, yeah.
Cool.
I have notes on Fermat's little theorem. Let me just see what I have.
I was taking really good notes, you know, like the first half, the first day, and then the whole thing.
That went super fast.
Yeah. So yeah, actually, but what I just showed you is close to like as far as I've studied so far, and you know, in detail. So I understand all of that. Point addition, I don't get. I don't understand why it works. Yeah.
So like when I was looking up Fermat's little theorem, I saw this right here. A to the p minus 1 mod p equals 1.
Sorry, 1 second. Are you sharing your screen?
Sure.
Or my, hold on. Where's your window? I lost it.
Oh, you gotta click view options, and then you can choose the screen at the top.
View options?
You don't have that?
Are you in a Mac also?
Yeah.
Do I have to stop sharing in order to see yours?
That might be
I'm
easier.
not very familiar with Zoom.
It'd probably be easier for you, but like I was able to switch between yours and his.
Oh. Okay, I see yours now. Kevin.
Yeah, cool. So right here, like this is what I got. Like for I have a to the p minus 1 mod p equals 1. And what was the one you had? You had 1 over n equals
N to the p minus 1.
like that.
And that's in mod p, yeah.
Mod p. Okay. So it's, let's see.
So yeah, that's
Is that the same thing?
no, because
no, it isn't.
so A and P are coprimes.
Because I know this works because I tried it out on like a bunch of different numbers. So this theorem definitely works.
Hey again, Jonathan.
Yeah, so like right here, 40 the power 40 to 18 mod 19 equals 1. And then you basically take out 40 to the 36. And all you have to do is 40 to the 4th power mod 19 at that point. Which you can do through the multiplicative property of prime numbers.
Trying to follow up. Hope that. Four.
Yeah, you end up getting 4. I mean, no, 4 or 16. 16, yeah. Because 40 mod 19 is 2. 40 squared mod 19 is 4. So 40 to the power of 4 mod 19 is 16.
Okay. So wait, what are we calculating right here? Just 40 to the 40th power?
is equal
Yeah,
to
I mean, like when I was looking up Fermat's last theorem, I mean, little theorem, it was just all about like taking huge primes and being able to mod them quite like
oh, I think it
much
just
faster.
okay. Oh, okay. I think I get it now. So 40 to the 40th, you break it down. 40 to the 18th is just 1. Okay, and so then you're just left with 40 to the 4th, which is 16. That's the only one that gets calculated then, is what you're saying?
Yeah, if you basically you have 40 to
Mod.
the 18th, it's basically 1. 40 to the
Oh, let me write
18th
this
mod
down.
19 is 1. So
Yeah.
then 40 to the 18th times 40 to the 18th is 1. So then you're left with 40 to the 4th mod 19. And
Oh.
you know 40 mod 19 is 2, so um, 40 squared mod 19 is actually 4. And 4 and then 40 squared times 40 squared is 16 then.
Oh, you can do that? You can break it down to that level? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, right. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah. Oh.
You can't
Wait,
do
really? Oh.
you can't do like a times a times a times a, but you could do a times a. It's kind of
You can just
weird.
only A times A. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
For multiplicative what's it called? The
Oh,
multiplicative property of
Okay.
prime numbers. That's what it's called.
multiplicative.
Let me see if I can find it right here.
Prime numbers.
Yeah, oh, right here. This is the formula right here. So you have 40 squared mod. So you have 40 mod 19 is 2. 40 squared mod 19 is basically 40 mod 19 times 40 mod 19 mod 19.
Yep. And then that's, and so 40 mod 19 is 2, so it's 2 times 2. Okay.
Then you're left with 4 mod 19, which is 4.
All right, let me write this down. This is good stuff. Multi-property prime numbers.
I hope I didn't piss off too many people by spamming that Telegram.
Yeah, it's still relevant. So
Okay, what was the other example you showed? With like 40 to the 40th power?
Yeah,
That one? That was
right here, 40 to the 4th. Right here. 40
yeah.
mod 40 squared mod 19 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 mod 19 is 16. Or you could have also done this right here.
One second. The 4 mod 19 equals 1 times 44 to Okay. Interesting. Okay, that's pretty good.
Awesome. Yeah, like going back to the example over here, 106 times 27 to the 135th.
Yeah.
Well, 27 to the 135th, okay. But that doesn't make sense. How does 106 times 27 to the 35th? Like how does he get that from 106 over 27?
Because 1/27 is equal to n to the p minus 2.
Okay, n to the p minus 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which is 137 minus 2, whatever it is. So 135.
Yep.
So the formula for that was 1 over n equals n to the p minus 2?
Yeah. So I'm trying to think what was the first one, the one that right above it. What was...
Oh yeah, actually, it into the minus. I think you have an error on your notes right there. Line 71. I think that's 1 equals into the p minus 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes complete sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Because then this makes complete sense then. Awesome.
Yep.
And this is mod p, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sick.
Yep.
All right, that makes sense now.
Yep.
And then 27 to the 135th. And then he gets 66 using Fermat's little theorem.
Yeah. Because of the mod.
Nice. Okay, cool. Any other questions on this? That was just me, I think.
But my question still remains, like, how the fuck did he come up with X3 and Y3? Like, where did those formulas come from? I was trying to like derive them, and I couldn't.
I went and listened to audio, and he said that this is the equation. It's derived. I'm not going to go into it here. You can do that another time. Basically, it's like so even he said like I'm just giving it to you. So it's I guess all up to us to derive it or figure it out or research it. Yeah.
Okay.
If he didn't miss anything, he literally skipped it.
All right. Yeah. Let's just move on then.
So yeah. I felt like, and honestly, I didn't really go into it either. I felt like there were so many rabbit holes, and I just kind of chose to. Yeah, when I was going over this, I was like, okay, I'm not much.
Yeah, there were
as long as I know how to plug
way
in
too much to ask. Like each slide had like maybe a day to research on it sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, every hour of that class would have been a whole class, that he's teaching. He said, it's a whole semester worth of information. So we had no time to really digest or slow it down or do exercises.
Oh, over here, when he said finite fields are closed under all these operations, except division by 0, when you're proving, you just have to do addition and multiplication, because subtraction, division are inverses of the other operations.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like something relevant I learned from it when you're proving it. You don't have to do every operation.
Makes sense. I'm trying to find some of my notes related to that. Where is it? Hold on. I don't know. I don't see it.
Yeah, that was from the video that I had sent you guys in that Telegram chat.
Finite fields made easy, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll watch it. At least it's short.
Yeah, all his videos are pretty short, except for Fermat's last theorem. But that's like rightfully so. Because it's like the hardest thing in math ever. Like Gauss and Euler couldn't prove it.
Oh, so they already knew. They just couldn't. No one. Fermat came along and proved it.
No, Fermat was a lawyer, and he just he did math for fun in his spare time, and he came up with the theorem, and then all these mathematicians found it, and they were like, found his book, and This is why the internet's bad. Like, I don't think anyone's like doing math for fun nowadays. They're watching YouTube, like, except for us, like, I guess.
Yeah, I was like, cool. I found my niche. Thanks, guys.
But
Oh, we're back. My battery's running dead. I need to find my.
Oh, sure.
I gotta take a leak. I'll be right back.
Sure.
All right. What's up? You guys feel that music?
How long are you gonna be in Chicago for?
Oh, me? I mean, I think like April something.
Oh, so you're gonna be there, but are you going for work?
Yeah. But work would last from 10 to or 9 to 3,
Yeah.
which isn't too bad.
Yeah. I was in Chicago last month for work. I guess, yeah, December. It's a
Nice.
weird city.
It's got the second most capital for blockchain companies other than San Francisco and New York.
Interesting. Really?
No, not second, first. It's got the first most blockchain capital other than San Francisco and New York. I think Austin's like 4th on the list, which is surprising because
That is weird.
And Jimmy's there, so that's surprising.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always wondered why, if like Austin is actually a good city to live or whatever. I've heard that the population is like pretty fairly young, and it's like a smaller, pretty condensed city, so probably kind of fun.
I did like Chicago. I thought it was cool.
Chicago
It's
is
kind of cool that Chicago, you can basically get anywhere in the country because I think it's the best airport in the world. I don't know. I think Singapore might be up there, but in the country, definitely.
Sorry. Hey, I'm back. What was the question?
Awesome.
About New York City? I can tell you all about that.
we're just talking about the biggest cities for blockchain capital other than New York and San Francisco.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is it bigger in New York or San Francisco?
I would say San Francisco is where it's at because the bit license I think is still intact in New York. So
yeah, true.
I think
but,
that's like
that's fair point. Fair point. But I think that yeah, but that also only applies to like exchanges in certain businesses. It doesn't apply to everything. Although there's there's also a bunch of securities law just makes things like, well, I guess it applies to the whole United States, I guess, but yeah, ICOing is definitely, it's not a good place to work at all. And but there's a lot of stuff happening in New York, more on the private.
Oh, without a doubt, like John's there, and a lot of the core Bitcoin development's happening there. So without a doubt, like New York is it's San Francisco, New York, like without a question.
Yeah, but I wish like San Francisco was on the East Coast. Just San Francisco is like way out there.
Yeah, it is. It is really way out there.
Trying to go back to Bulgaria from there. Is that why?
Yeah, because like even from Utah, it's like a 10-hour flight to Paris and then another couple hours to Bulgaria. And with San Francisco to anywhere in Europe, like it's just like a straight
like 12 hours?
11, 12-hour flight. Yeah.
I didn't even think about it like that. I got here and then I'm like, God damn, flights take so long.
Yeah, because even if you fly from like Boston, New York, whatever, to California, it's like a 6-7 hour flight, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty fast to go to Florida also.
Yeah.
All
right, ready to move on?
Yeah.
Awesome. Good on this.
So here's exactly where I get lost. Yeah. All right, let's do. Oh no, actually no. Sorry, I get the addition subtraction. So I thought it was point addition. Let's do this.
Great, that's good. This
Yeah,
was
you
good
on that stuff,
for
Martin?
me. Martin, do you have any questions on this?
No.
Cool.
Yeah, this stuff I got too.
Yeah.
He was just showing an overview. Here we go. Questions on this?
Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, something.
He did mention that this was. It's funny. He mentioned that this is better than this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Faster,
But then on Stack Overflow, it was the opposite. But I'll trust Jimmy on this one.
Really? Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if it maybe what did you notice if it was like they were talking about Python 2 or 3?
Yeah.
No, I don't know what the context was. That's important.
Okay. That could maybe do it. Who knows?
Yeah. That's smart. I think this was his introduction to Fermat's little theorem. Do you guys want to go over part 2?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about it first. And if I remember that you the notice anything part for 2 was just basically for each one of these, you're going to get like a unique integer in this field that doesn't collide with any other k. Like you take every multiplying any number in the field by some constant is going to yield another integer in the field.
Isn't it?
I'm doing the math in
So
my
if you were to
head.
sort them all, you get the same field again.
Yeah, you just get the same number, right?
Do you get the same number, or do you get like 0?
No, you get a different like random number. Oh, you mean like adding them all up, or?
No. When you do like 1 or like 1 times k mod 30 is basically 1.
Yeah, you're gonna
Right.
Well, take like a k. I think the k needs to be a prime itself. Is that right? I think
Yeah. So you wouldn't do 30. You would do like 29, right? So.
Or 31 or whatever the prime was. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like, let's see what the rand.
Yeah. So for any k.
Okay, yeah, it can be a truly random k, and that's not right because you're not doing mod.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, over here. I think I did this just to test out what it would look like without it.
Okay.
And then over here is where is that what we
That's
did over here?
2.3.
That's 2.3. Oh yeah. So where's 2 point? Yeah, you're right. This
the
is
one above
right.
it. The one above it is 2.2, I think.
This one? No, but this
No,
is wrong.
above it. Above it.
Oh, above it.
Yeah, right here. Yep, that's 2.2.
It looks like I didn't finish it. This is a fun thing from Jupyter. You could do A or B. A launches a new thing above. You could do B. You could do X.
Huh.
So A, B, and X are
Oh, okay. Above,
pretty handy.
below, and then X is like
Delete.
Delete.
But you have to click on the cell on the left of the cell, like right here. Because you can't do A like in the cell. You have to click on the cell and then do A.
Try clicking in the cell. Oh, there you're and then if you want to delete this or create a new cell maybe, and then I think you hit escape and then try hitting X. Like don't click, just hit escape and then hit X.
Oh, escape. Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And how do you get back into the cell if you?
I think you can go to the help menu and it'll tell you the shortcuts. I think it's like it's just enter. I think actually. I remember.
Oh, sick,
yeah.
Dude! That saves a lot of time.
Yeah, and you know he always told us to use like shift enter to run it, and I went and looked at help, and like the thing is, it always the cursor loses its focus, and like it goes to the next item. If you do like control enter instead, it'll keep the cursor.
Oh, you're right. That is annoying as hell.
Yeah, much better.
So much better. Control enter. Thanks, man.
Yep.
I can't believe I taught Python and Jupyter and I didn't know that.
Go up menu. That's all I did.
Wait, what is the shortcut?
Control enter to stay in it.
You should just like
instead of shift enter.
Yeah, but click on help and then keyboard shortcuts.
Yeah, sure.
That's where like just go here. This is where they have all the shortcuts. This is like where I discovered all that. You have command mode and you have like edit mode. Edit mode's just like when your cursor's in the box basically, and command mode's when it's not. It's kind of like them with the eye.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Yeah.
Cool. No, that didn't work. Okay. What am I doing wrong here?
K is not defined. You haven't run the one above it, maybe.
Yeah, you're right. Control enter. I'll just shift enter in this case. This is right. Yeah, you get 0 for every single one for part 2. Because 0 times K. So let's say K is 31. 0 times 31 is 0. Mod 31 is 0. 1 times 31 is 31. It's always like a multiple of 31. So there would be no mod.
But what if K is 14, like your case?
Oh, but it won't be 14. It'll be third. Oh, is it 14 in my case?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh, it doesn't matter because it's always a multiple of 14, and you're modding 14.
Thinking about that.
Why are you?
Oh, wait a minute.
Well, you're not supposed to mod by 14 though. You're supposed to mod by
was it supposed to mod by
prime?
31.
By 31. Okay.
Yeah, I did the same exact thing. So mod prime.
Prime. I'll put prime over here.
So yeah, I went and fixed all my code too to be like prime.
No. You have to do mod prime for I.
For I. Whoops. Yeah.
But you're still priming over K.
Thanks, man.
There we go. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was good.
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Okay, so mod. So it doesn't matter what the random number is. Is that what?
Yeah, I think so.
It's crazy. And why was this the case?
So yeah,
again?
so for any constant,
And keep in mind that this is sorted.
Mhm.
So
yeah,
like,
so if you don't sort it, it's gonna be like really random.
yeah.
But the observation is to note that it's gonna be a unique result for every I. I guess what was it? A unique result in the field for every I. Yeah, maybe I don't know how to say it formally, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like, it'll create another value in the field, and every last for every last I you'll get another unique.
But if you think about it, like if I is 1 times k, which is 3, so 3 prime by 31 is
3. Right, 3 prime 30.
Oh yeah,
31.
this is sorted. This is sorted. I keep getting fucked up. Yeah, this is sorted. So
Well,
if
let's not sort this.
I always did these twice. I always did the sorted and unsorted version.
That's a really good idea.
Too.
And we keep doing like, I don't think we have to do fucking print every fucking time.
To make it more obvious, I guess. I don't know.
Or maybe you do print to keep it all in line.
yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, I see.
Yeah, sweet.
So 0, 3.
Oh yeah, I like 3 as a example. Makes it pretty clear.
Yeah. And that's 2 times 3 is 6. Mod 31 is 6. And then at 27. And then at 30.
So interesting. See, I'd rather do this with a for loop instead of like a list comprehension, because then we could print out what I is. Like this, because like I don't, right here, it's kind of hard to tell what I is at this point, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna rewrite this actually. What the fuck was that? Yeah, this is weird. What did I do? I killed the code.
Oh, you can change. You see at the top. You see where it says Markdown? Change it to code.
Ah.
I don't. Yeah, there's some shortcut to change it. I don't know what it is. I don't know how that one works. But yeah, you probably hit some shortcut.
A dot append, I forget. Or A dot push. Yeah, it's A dot push, I think. You guys remember what?
It's append.
It's append. Ah,
yeah.
Man.
I wish there was code completion stuff. Do Python IDEs have like code completion?
Yeah.
Yeah. PyCharm's like pretty good.
Which one?
PyCharm's pretty good.
I use
Sublime for everything, but PyCharm's like legit.
Yeah, I like it's just a full blown IDE.
But it's a full blown IDE. That's the bad part. Like if you don't have a fast enough computer, it can be kind of slow.
Okay. I know at Goldman we use like IntelliJ for everything now, and actually I've come to absolutely fucking love it. It's like what Google uses for their IDEs, actually.
IntelliJ? Really?
Yeah, that's what I'm told.
Wow.
I was told that internally they converted mostly from using Eclipse to IntelliJ. I don't know if that's true. It's just what I've heard.
Isn't it fucked up that we hear Google uses this and does this, and we're like, oh, really? Like,
yeah.
Wow. That's so fascinating.
That is a company where the developers are king, right? So it's like that's you kind of tend to trust what they go with. It's a good default in my opinion. So you don't know what the hell you're doing. Just ask someone what's Google do. And you're like, all right, I'm gonna do that.
It starts at I-20 when I is 21. That's when it gets to 1.
Well, but before that, it starts at 11.
11, yeah.
Because 10 times 30 is 300. And when you mod that by 31, I guess you have 0 and 1. Oh, result is 2. Wait, result is 30.
I is the iteration, and then the result is like.
I think we're
I
spending
times
way
K
too
mod.
much time on this, and this is literally like, I mean, it's important, but maybe not that important.
I think it's just an observation.
Yeah.
That leads to Fermat's little theorem, right?
Yeah, I'm actually looking at my own notes now to see.
And every single number is the previous number plus 3. Until it wraps around 31.
I think it's like it probably has something to do with okay, so you multiply it by you basically multiply same number p minus 1 times. That's like the same as multiplying it out. Okay, basically 31 times. It's p is 31, and then I think there's an observation. I think am I making this up? But I think if you take all these numbers, God, and you like multiply them all together, or if you add them all together, something like that. Yeah, it'll always be 1. That's fermat's. Yeah. I'm trying to make that little leap. Why it works.
Which one?
So I'm trying to make a leap from like they're trying to. Okay, so he's talking about how. So right here, he's I think he was getting us to do this to show us how kind of notice anything. He was saying that, and it's like okay, so you see like how it's always like it's a unique set of numbers. It's basically in the same field, the same closed field, and then somehow this is why Fermat's theorem works.
Yeah, it's always in a prime field.
Prime field, yeah.
And well, Fermat's little theorem. This is interesting for me when I was looking it up. You need what was it over here? A to the p mod p equals a. A and P need to be coprimes, meaning they have to have the only common divisor between them needs to be 1. That was like a characteristic of Fermat's little theorem that I don't think we went over.
Oh yeah, let me write this down too. That's
Yeah, so here, like I have more notes. It's like right here.
Oh, this is great. Yeah, let me do that. Let me write that down.
And let me get you guys the video.
Relatively.
This video helped me a lot.
Relatively prime to each other sounds like, I don't know, just mind
A
blowing.
scam. It's like fuck you.
Yeah. Relatively prime to each other. Oh, it just sounds cool. Are we ready to move forward?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, totally.
I'll think about it later. Can I just copy his notes there?
I'm gonna delete
Anyway, there's a leap. I don't know what the leap is. I was trying to figure that out myself. Sounds like
Well,
you guys.
the leap might be that it wraps around.
Yeah, I think. Well, that's that. I observed that, but I don't understand how that arrives. It's just the fermat solution.
It is. Wait, the strange part is that no matter what k you choose inside
Yeah.
the field, it's just fucking the same thing. That's the mind blowing part.
Yeah.
What about this? Like, why was it one? Okay, Fermat's little theorem. Duh. Okay, moving on. Right.
So it's 0 raised to the 30th.
Yeah, that's exactly why it's that.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. I'll just take it. Like I know that Fermat's little theorem works. I've memorized it. I know, but I don't understand. Right. So it's like, okay, I think it's good enough. And I say you have to know before you can understand. So maybe it'll click if you keep going.
Well, remember what Jimmy said. Like he talked about like elliptic curves, Fermat, little theorem, finite fields, and all that shit. He said it took him like a year or two to get it. And obviously, like he's a math major too. He probably got it fairly quickly. But at the same time, if you're not to spend a month on this, you're not going to get it instantly. And I think we already have like a pretty good grasp on it. Like we don't necessarily need to be able to teach this, you know.
It just is what it is. It's like here, it's an axiom to us. Like, okay, just take it and go with it. Okay, I mean, I'm satisfied. I understand Fermat's little theorem. I mean, I know what it is, and I know how to also, basically do calculate 1 over n. It's based Fermat's theorem. It's p minus 2.
Yeah.
And okay, so it's like okay, good enough for now. I understand how that's from Fermat's little theorem.
1 over n is equal to...
I bet there's a proof on YouTube somewhere on Fermat's little theorem, and that would help.
Yeah.
We don't have to do it right now, but I'm sure like there is.
You want to go back to the slides?
Sure, yeah. Makes sense. Here. This division by... Was this 0 or O?
0.
0, okay.
That's just an odd number, yeah.
Okay. Oh, division by an odd number?
No, it's just because it's, you can't divide by 0. Thou shalt not divide by 0. That's the only reason.
Okay, got it. Mm-hmm. Okay, division, same stuff.
Yep, there we go. That's where he derives it. Okay, yep. Okay. This line. So yeah, it's just taking Fermat's little theorem.
I'm gonna just like see that this is why I hate Prezi. I can't like copy this.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is why I use Atom and not Sublime, so I don't have to click cancel when it asks me to purchase.
I should just purchase already. Like Sublime, I love Sublime still. Like I should just buy it. I keep saying that, and I don't. Keep forgetting.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, can you go back to that one slide?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I get that. Okay. Yep.
What was the part you?
Oh, I was just making sure I wasn't missing anything. Yeah, I understand it. Cool. I was just making. It's just basically what we were already. It's the p minus 2 stuff basically.
Yeah. So 3 to the 17th mod. Cool.
So like this is the part that actually kind of like blew my mind. Like this example right here. because I thought he was like modding twice, but like after you write it out, it ends up being the same exact
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because like you 2 mod 19 and you take that mod 19, it's just 2, right? So it's like,
He explained basically you can mod at any step whenever the hell you want because
Yeah.
everything has to be within the field. So you can just arbitrary mod all the time, no matter what. So in that sense, it makes perfect sense. In fact, that's the reason he said that like the PAL function has a better performance improvement because instead of just modding at the end of the whole operation, every time like you take that 17.
Oh,
Sorry,
you're dealing with a smaller number.
Sorry, what?
You're dealing with a smaller number because in the first
exactly.
case, 2 times 3 to the 17th is some huge number, and then 2 times to the whatever, and it's the same thing. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah. He said
Math
3
is
to
awesome.
17, so 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. But he says every time you do 3 times 3, then you mod 19. Times 3, mod 19. Times 3, minus 19. You're just doing it every step.
Yeah.
yeah, this is fucking amazing.
I know.
It's so cool. Man.
I wish we could spend a day on each lecture.
I know, right?
I know. That was my main
Or-
feedback to him. I'm like, dude, it really needs to be 3 days, man. Like, you would need to just spare another day from work because I don't want you to cut down the information. It's fantastic, but it'd be great if we could have a little more hands-on time. That's just me. I was like, I'm just speaking for myself here.
Or like have some intense pre-work, right?
Yeah, maybe. A lot of people are, yeah. I that's probably how it should be. I know that in reality, like, because my job and how crazy my life is, I probably wouldn't have any chance to do that. But how
That's
I'm doing
true,
afterwards anyway, so I don't know. I guess, yeah.
I think it's easier to do in a group setting, right? Because like,
Yeah, you're all struggling with the same thing, and yeah.
And just hearing someone say it and then someone else saying it in a different way, it like
Yeah.
obviously like makes it click a little better. That's why
Yeah.
I think doing this like as a group, even right now, I think it's much better than me trying to like stare at it.
Agreed.
totally agree. So these questions.
So I've already done these. These I'm good with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
same.
What was the revelation over here? Right.
For k 0.
So it's just any k.
Here, I'm looking up where I did this.
So it's 30 times.
I noticed again, it's just like the when we were multiplying by every number in the field by k. Well, when you divide every number in the field by k, it's the exact same thing. You get some random output, but it's a unique, result in that same field. So you get the same field back. You sort of, it's the same thing. So it kind of makes sense, I guess. It's an inverse of multiplication but not the same. But I guess I guess the point is that the reverse is true as well. You'll get a unique integer in.
I couldn't find my file, but I'll just redo it. Yeah.
3.2.
All right, point addition, fun.
So here's where I got fucked. Yeah, this is this is exact. Yeah.
All right, so let's figure this out together. I sent you guys those links on here. I'm not going to do that again, but let's see if we can figure this out. Well, we're following his formula that this checked out, but like, how did he get there, and why is it that way? Line through, and z is the natural number. I think it's a natural number universe. It's all integers.
I think the x3 and the y3 are actually from the original equation for the curve.
Oh, really?
I just had that run thought. Let's see. No, they're not. Did you find it? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, for a second it looked like the y square, but it isn't.
Minus x1.
This is wild, this whole thing. Like, I wonder what this graph would look like.
Well, I don't think that would be a graph. Because this is like just one.
If you graph the...
Well,
yeah,
because,
you're right.
Because the S
Yeah.
is basically like 2 points.
Well, if you graphed S on the x-axis and the x on the y-axis, I wonder what that would look like. Like, would it be a parabola? Or would it be a line?
It wouldn't be a line because it's squared.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so it would be a parabola.
Probably.
What? Which part? Is where your the equation you're on?
X3. Yeah.
But S is just the slope is constant.
Yeah, but we were just like trying to like bullshit about what would the graph look like if that were another point.
Yeah, if you just did it for like every point in X. Oh wait, you're right. S would be the same no matter what, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's just a. Yeah.
Would S always be the same?
No.
Well, yeah, it would be because
no
it's
matter
like,
what 2 points you choose.
Yeah, because it's just a slope. So like how much from one point you move to the next, and that is a constant basically, because you always move the same amount from one point to the next, no matter what the initial point is.
Yeah. So if your X is twice far out, then so is your. It's going to be you're going to be you double your X, you're going to be doubling your Y as well, and then you divide the two, and it's just the same constant. That's not the formal way of describing it, but the intuitive way.
No, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
No, I think there's something that's missing from this, and that's why we can't get it, because I don't think you can easily derive what he has reached for x3 and y3 by having x1, y1 plus x2, y2, and then having the slope formula. Like,
let me just do it. Like I didn't do like, because x2 minus x1 squared is, I never did the math. Did you guys do it? Like, did
I
you
tried,
square
but
S?
I don't. Oh.
S is the only part I get of this.
Thinking about it. Hold on.
Yeah, there's definitely steps missing. You're right.
I think the last one,
Maybe
I
that means
vaguely remember him saying that the minus y1, the very last thing, the minus y1, he's like, that's what's flipping it over the x-axis.
Interesting.
I don't know if that's correct, but thinking about that, is that true?
well, because you have x1, y1.
So like, x1 minus x3 there. And then you multiply that by the slope, that would give you basically your y3, but I think the minus y1 is...
And the other thing is, like, in order to get y3, you need to have x3.
Yeah, that's pretty wild that you need x3 for y3.
But to get x3, you only need x1, x2, which you have. And you have the slope, which you have. And so then you can take that calculation, put it into this last equation. Everything you need. Huh. Well, thinking about how do you get that formula? Whoa, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like this thing. Yeah, hey Jonathan, this right here, this point, this blue point
Yeah.
is I think x sub 1, and this is x sub 2.
Okay.
Isn't that
So
3 though? The orange one is x3, y3.
is it? Oh, never mind. Yeah, you're right. So this is let me see right here. Is it?
No, you're right. It just depends where you basically start. It says it right there. Like the orange one is x1, y1. The blue one is x2, y2. See on the left. And so that's why it's flipped. The black dot is.
But what's interesting is like the black dot is flipped because like see this minus y1 right here?
Uh-huh.
Like if you just look at it, if you minus y1 from this point, like it would go over here. It wouldn't go down this far.
Yeah. Minus y1. Yeah.
That's interesting that how does it reflect?
Well, but then what is, so x, think about what's in front of it. So s times x1 minus x3.
Oh no, this is y1. I'm sorry guys. This is x1, y1.
Yeah.
So minus y1 would actually be higher. So would this be enough? 1, 2, 3. It would be over here. So what's pushing it over here? Oh, we're minusing x3 from it too. We're minusing x3 from it, so I don't know.
Thinking about it still. Not sure. I think I might have to let this one. I think the one I'm more interested in figuring out is I think I'm just gonna take these. It's just
the derivation of this is super interesting. Oh, dude, I think this does it.
It looks like it.
Yeah, dude, this is it. This is it. Oh, hell yeah, this is it. Instead of
can you paste that?
S, it's M. Yeah, I just chatted it.
Sweet.
Over here. This is awesome. We should send our notes over to Jimmy. Be like, here, just give them to the students before class.
You should just link to these things right from the slides, probably. If people want an explainer on how this derived.
Yeah, I would edit them for him. Give me some brownie points, Jimmy.
Oh yeah.
I know, that's the problem. It's like, I'm not going to do that shit on the folder.
This is great.
Yeah.
I like the end. It's like math. Like science.
Yep. And then I would definitely, at least want to.
That was pretty basic. Oh, this is interesting. Like right here. How is this an elliptical curve?
What?
Right here, because this is closed. Right here, right?
Yeah.
How is this an elliptical curve? It's closed.
Does it matter?
Like, I know.
Because if you still, I think one of the most important things in elliptic curves is as long as you take 2 points and you draw a line between them, if you're always going to reach a third point only once. And so I think that still applies.
What about here? Like if you draw a horizontal line, through 2 points. Got it.
Through points, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Let me write that down.
Should we go through each one of the sessions every Sunday?
I think it's a great idea. We might have to go through one session for 3 Sundays.
We can always go back, but at least
yeah.
The more times you go through it, it helps.
I'm actually studying this stuff during my work hours now. It's
it's part of your job.
I'm telling Goldman.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of like the guy that don't give a fuck no more right there. It's like no one owns me there anymore, right? So, and they know it, and I'm just doing what I know I need to do in order to send this stuff. So if they're not cool with it, then I'm just gonna have to leave. Because this is stuff I'm interested in, and they better understand that I'm interested in doing blockchain research. So, you know what I mean? So it's kind of I don't give a fuck. I'm doing it.
But that's part of your job now, right?
What's that?
It's part of your job now, so.
It is, yeah. But it's people will say, yeah, we understand, and then they turn around and they start saying behind your back oh, he's wasting so much time, doesn't know what he's doing. They always say that, and then whenever they see the results of research and understanding stuff, they fucking love it. They've always loved it. Everyone's like, yeah, we got to execute. I'm like, dude, almost every startup that was worth doing that, there was years of research before it happened. That was the case for Google. That was the case for VMware, Intel. You just keep going down the list. It just come out of nowhere.
Oh, dude, Jonathan, there's this book I was reading. I stopped reading it because I'm focused on this stuff, but it's called The Investment Wizards of Wall Street. And the first chapter is about this guy from Salomon Brothers. And he learned about options when no one knew about options at Salomon Brothers. Yeah. And everyone just treated him like a genius. When, he was the one who led this options trading group.
Yeah.
And he said part of his success was being early. Was being early in anything.
Yeah.
People just treat you like a genius when you know a lot. It's weird. Right now, I remember in 2011, 2012, when I learned web development by myself, I didn't really know that much, but I knew enough to make a site and a database, like a database driven app, and to today's standards, it's nothing what I knew back then, but because no one else knew it.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
That's enough.
Back in the 90s, I just was a little kid, and I'm trying to do HTML and stuff. And I was like, holy shit, you're like a programmer. I'm like, Yeah, it's not really programming. You know, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just nodding my head and smiling. You know.
Back then with JavaScript frames and stuff and guest
Yeah,
books. Yeah.
yeah. And then you
Yeah,
just
that's
use
awesome.
really basic JavaScript. You're like, see, I can make the page like change color.
Yeah, they see you as a genius. They just treat you like a genius. Yeah.
You're always just trying to get to that next level. It's like, you know, whenever you ever take math in class or in school, you always think it's so freaking hard. And then you get to like the next grade and you're like, man, last year was so easy. What was I thinking? You know, so it's good. It's like keep leveling up. But, yeah. So, so what's next here?
What is this?
I had
is
trouble.
This...
Oh, so sec
So,
56K1 is just is a curve where you have A is equal to 0, so that AX part falls out, and the B is 7. It's just they always make it. It's just always a constant, so that it just makes things easier. They just always use the same A 0, B is 7.
Yeah, I think that I'm actually very curious. Like, how do they come up with that? I think I actually asked Jimmy that, and he said something, but I don't remember what he said. But I asked him, like, why do they define that standard? Like, why does SECP 256K1 like mean y squared equals x cubed plus 7? Like, why is that so specific?
That's a really good question.
And B is 7.
And B is 7. Oh, B has to be 7 for that?
Yes.
Yeah.
They just always fix. And B 7. Yep.
Wow. That's crazy.
I do remember he said that Satoshi didn't pick, or at least it's thought that he didn't pick the NIST curves. Because that they were published by the NSA or something.
Exactly. Yeah, and this one wasn't from the NSA. This was from.
I went and looked it up. It's crazy complicated. There's like a ton of different coefficients. And I actually read on the Wikipedia article on this somewhere. It's mentioned that actually the NSA itself has now deprecated the NIST curve because there's concerns that it may be vulnerable to quantum resistance. NIST curve, NIST.
NIST, okay.
Yeah, the National Institute of Standards Technology.
Now it has what kind of vulnerabilities?
There's some concerns about its quantum resistance.
Wow.
I can probably find it. No, I can't. I don't have it now.
No, but that was the interesting part. That like part of Satoshi's genius is that the creativity in combining everything and choosing things based on like what's more secure. You know, like he was like Satoshi was on a mission to just like create this and make it work.
He knew that this is going to secure like the world economy. It better be pretty damn secure.
Yeah,
you know, he's like the kid. He's like, if there's a problem in that function, this whole thing's fucked. You know, this is out. Like, there's no one doing that. You can't go and like move everyone's coins for them. You know, what happened is someone will then figure out derive the private key, using a vulnerability, and then move it for them. So like you just fucked. You just fucked. The whole thing is built on a big pile of shit. So yeah, it was interesting. So yeah, I think here it is. Actually. Found it. Bingo. Here it is.
Oh, sick. Can you chat it to them?
Yeah.
To us?
Yep. It says elliptic curve cryptography. So on this page it says I'll paste this little snippet. So it basically says that these NIST curves, it was the NSA allows their use for protecting information classified up to top secret with 384-bit keys. However, in August 2015, the NSA announced that it plans to replace Suite B with a new cipher suite due to concerns about quantum computing attacks on elliptic curve cryptography.
I don't know if you've read any articles like some of the stuff behind Bitcoin and like from like a scientific perspective. Like this article kind of goes through some of that stuff. Like it talks about Adam Back, like his hash cash, and like how smart contracts were actually invented in like in the 80s or 90s or something like that. And it's not that
Really?
fascinating and shit like that. But he was able to combine a lot of those topics and make Bitcoin, which is like the super fascinating thing.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, he did not invent the first blockchain, but what my understanding is that he did proof of work, which what made it actually feasible.
Exactly. Yeah, and he fixed like the double spending problem and like security.
How?
Well, with proof of work.
Yeah, proof of work. He was the inventor of it, right?
Yeah.
And
I mean, people think he's I ran into something. I haven't looked into this. I was looking up. Here, let me find my notes. Hash cash. Hold on. I was trying to understand the difference between like hash cash and.
It's called hash cash. Is it in this?
That's Adam Back's attempt at this.
Adam Back's.
It's back.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. When did he come up with hash cash?
Like either early 2000s or 90s.
Holy shit. I mean, there was DigiCash too in the 80s.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of that?
Yeah. That paper that I shared, they mentioned that as well. C97.
And one of these actually, I was confused because one of these contradicted what I just said. They mentioned that one of these guys made proof of work. There you go. Hash cash a proof of work system. That's exactly it. And so I was like, well, what the hell? Then what was missing? What was the key ingredient? Was it just not successful? Was it just not known about? The proof of work system used to limit emails. Oh, maybe it's just because it's geared towards email. So maybe basically Bitcoin's been just sitting there forever. It's just
shit. Is he still alive, dude? This guy's fucking Satoshi. Holy shit.
Yeah, no. Adam Back is Blockstream, like the company.
No,
that's
he's founder of Blockstream.
Yeah, he's like one of the co-founders, I think.
Wow.
I could also see it being Hal Finney because Hal Finney had ALS, and if you go look at his Twitter, he's like, okay, so like Bitcoin went live like 3rd of January 2009. Okay,
and he was the first transaction recipient. Right?
Yes, that too. And then if you go look at his Twitter, like not even a week later, he's like working on Bitcoin. And, I just feel like it could literally be the same guy. I don't know, and it's just a theory of mine because
have you seen Banking on Bitcoin, the movie?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that was cool.
It's a good movie, like documentary that actually talks about the exact same thing.
Oh, like, you'd be crazy. You'd be crazy if he had schizophrenia. And Satoshi's actually him, and he doesn't even know it.
I think that'd be fucking awesome. Because that makes it even better that like we will never know who Satoshi was.
But Hal Finney had ALS, and then he passed away, like several years ago, and he had no children either. So I'm like, that.
Oh no, he had children. He had children.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he had children because he in a Bitcoin talk. You could find all this posts on Bitcoin Talk. And he talked about how he's content. He said that he's happy because he's able to leave a huge legacy to his children and wife.
Huh.
And that made me happy. Like
legacy in terms of what he's done, or in terms of like
Bitcoin? Because of the Bitcoin, the massive amounts of Bitcoin that he probably has.
Yeah. Oh, I hope his family knows how to take care of
it. Dude, his family's probably like super fuck. His wife graduated Caltech with him. Like her family's smart. Yeah. Oh, this is so cool. Oh man, I can't wait to read through all of this. This is awesome.
No, it's a good article.
This is probably the best article because I wanted to come up with the timeline of all of this. Because I'm doing a talk on Bitcoin. Oh shit, this is awesome.
right, do you
Oh
guys
wow,
want to keep
Merkle
moving?
Trees
Because
came
I
out
actually
next week.
have to get some schoolwork shit done.
Oh sure, yeah, totally. I think we did really good today.
Yeah, what do we have left?
We had group law for the point.
Boom. This
of
is where I
infinity.
got fucked up. This is where like I just like brain crashed. Like I know he was like think 0 for infinity.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Well,
get.
zero was more like you can't include infinity in Python. So I think that was why he just said put 0 in there. That's what I remember what he said. But like I don't understand the infinity part. That part I don't understand.
I think it's just because it's a straight line. So like it's literally a straight line. Like you see that r to p plus q point, like that is infinity right there.
Yeah, but isn't that weird though? Like this isn't like a limit, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not like as x approaches infinity. This says like x this point equals this point plus infinity. Like what the fuck does that mean, right?
Yeah. I do not understand this.
I get replacing this with 0, but in Python because you can't do infinity. But I don't get this. Like this is weird.
Right.
Or this, like.
Yeah.
Well, I guess no. Because if you subtracted,
Yeah, it would have been.
oh, I guess this is a reflection. Okay, so I guess this and this kind of makes sense. Respect to themselves, but not this part.
Well, even the reflection I don't understand because if you're to pull it to the other side of the equation, yeah, not doing it.
There's something on Math World. My favorite site's like Math is Fun because they explain it to like idiots. It's fantastic because I understand it.
Oh yeah, like explain your 5.
Yeah, it's like this is what a prime. Oh shit, is it there? Nah, it's a form. Oh man, dude, including the single point in infinity. What the fuck? Point at infinity. Here's where I Googled every word. Dude, this is insane. Look at this. What the fuck?
You can also be thought of as the point of intersection of two parallel lines. Point of intersection of two parallel lines. That doesn't even make sense.
Just think about it like this.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. That totally doesn't help.
that hurt everything.
Okay. This is good. I go back to the slide. Scroll up one slide. See the graph.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I don't understand, but I know I can observe one thing. So, it says P plus Q plus R equals 0. Let's say you see those 2 points on the left, P and Q.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you were to add up their X values and then you also added up the Y values, it's exactly the opposite.
R.
So like of P plus Q. It's like you're flipping it on both the X and Y axis.
Would you get the origin if you added up the X and Y coordinates of all of them?
If you do X1 plus X2,
Mhm.
so that would make basically the X1 plus X2 would be kind of like halfway into the second box. Wait, I'm not saying. Basically, there you go. X1 plus X2 is basically the.
No, it will be outside of that little half circle. It will be past P because it's -1 plus negative whatever 2, maybe, for example. So that would be like -3.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the origin. I was just
No, it
looking at
wouldn't be the
other
origin.
points.
But if you were to add, so if you take basically though here, maybe it's easier if I.
Yes, you want to share your screen?
Well, I don't have it open actually.
I could Slack it to
Give me
you.
a second.
I think it's sure. By Slack, I meant.
Hold on, I got it open already. I just gotta open it up in my window. Here we go. I think. Oh, it's loading. Okay, well, I'm getting to the slide, and I'll share my screen. Okay, here we go. Okay. Hello. Okay, so you see how you have okay, can you see my mouse also?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So basically the X, if you were to add together the X coordinates of P and Q, it'd be about like be about right here.
Yeah.
And then if you were to add up the Y coordinates, it'd be about like here. Basically, exactly opposite of here. But then you notice that's exactly a reflection over both X and Y, P and Q.
Oh wow!
Notice that. You see? So that's why, and then that formula you had on the screen, Yvonne, it mentions that P plus Q plus.
Let me chat to you.
Yeah, what is that?
Sending it right now. There you go.
Yep. Oh man, I have way too many freaking browser windows open.
That's funny.
Actually. Oh shit, where the hell did it go? I don't even know. Okay.
That Bitcoin dev article looks interesting.
All right.
Well, let's not go off topic. Let's focus.
Here we go. All right, this one. Okay, so yeah, so P plus Q plus R equals 0. So P plus Q. Wait, I just thought I had some.
No, it's interesting because P plus Q and R are reflections of each other over the x-axis, and then you were saying that P plus Q, that if you add the y coordinates to P, if you add Q's y to P, then you end up, and then you reflect it over the origin, you end up with P plus Q. That's where you were at before.
Yeah, I was basically just noting that you literally add these up. You're just reflecting over both X and Y, and I think if you add up P, and you also add up Q, and you add up P plus Q, you get 0, which makes sense because they're just reflections. I think there was a property somewhere there that mentions that. Um, this is, trying to think if that always works or is it just a coincidence? Is the slope
dude, I think it would always work.
Not sure. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Like the only place that doesn't make sense is through the middle in this function, right? Like if you go right on the x-axis, a horizontal line, how the fuck would it reflect, or would the reflection be the same on the x-axis?
I'm sorry, Warner, though, if it's just a coincidence. Yeah, because if it were nearly horizontal, so just like thought experiment, it's just barely not horizontal. Does that still work?
Yeah, I think it would work, except like the one case is when y is 0 for both p and q.
So I don't think it would work. Is if you were to do what I just said, I think it was, you're not literally adding the y coordinates in order to. If you were to draw a straight line, let's say it was right. Let's say q is right here, and it's just barely not horizontal. I mean, it's going to intersect right here. This is going to be the r. So you're not actually adding up the y. So okay, everything I just said, I just wrote bogus. Okay, never mind. It was. Sorry, I'm just like, okay, I thought I was having some epiphany or something. Do you see what I'm saying? Well, like, if this is p and then q is right here, and it's like just barely not horizontal or whatever, it's going to intersect that right thereabouts. So you're not like adding up the y and then reflecting it. That was bogus. Never mind. All right, ignore me. I don't know. I'm no further closer to. I'm not any closer to understanding this right now.
I forget the fucking point of like reflecting it again, like of infinity. Like I forget it all at this point. But it's kind of cool to see p plus q plus r is 0. Like that's the point, that the identity is the point in infinity. Like that's it makes it confuses me more and makes it clear at the same time. Wow, I'm reading this forum post that's completely wrong. He talks about how Euler proves Fermat's last theorem.
Yeah, you said it was just the other round. Euler couldn't do it, right?
What is that E intersection? This is defined as the negation of the point resulting from the intersection of the curve E.
Yeah, I don't understand E. Maybe it's up here somewhere.
Oh, sounds like E is a function, right? Yeah, curve E. E is the function.
Oh, got it. Okay, so just think of it as the curve, the function. Got it. Okay.
Oh.
So that was what I was getting hung up also. A psych sitting there staring at the sentence for like a whole minute. So two distinct points, PQ. Addition is defined as the negation of the point resulting from the intersection of the curve, which is E, a straight line defined by the points PQ giving the point R. Okay. I still, they don't explain the negation part, but okay, so P plus Q's are P X plus, okay, sorry, yeah. So P plus Q R.
So yeah, I guess that's just a given formula for x3 and y3.
Yep, that's the slope. So they're just doing like, what is this, lambda?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's S.
Got it. Oh, okay. But see, I didn't realize that point addition, as stupid as it may sound, I didn't realize it's related to these formulas. So,
Yeah, that's how you get like the third point. And
okay.
however those formulas were derived.
I feel like this is important to understand. Like, why is it flipping? I'm just glad that he gave us this overview of stuff so that we know this is actually important enough to either one, spend time on, or two, that no, we're not just stupid. It's just, you can take it for his word, take his word on it, but it's hard to understand. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, he gave us the guidance, right? Like to know what to
Yeah.
look for. That's
Yes,
important.
that's key. Because I would never spend time staring at this even as long as we have already.
Oh hell no.
Yeah, I would think I was just wasting my time or.
Like I
But
read this post like in December. I almost had like no clue what the hell is going on. I should probably go through it again and maybe make a little bit more sense.
Oh, guys, one thing I remember is Jimmy talked about how, like, he used the point addition to get that third point, right? And then he talked about how you can get another point by just, it's like a free point by reflecting across the x-axis. That was what he talked about. And I don't know why it equals P plus Q, but that's what he said, remember? Like, he talked about how you get like a free extra point by just reflecting it.
And
well, what do you point instead of it being point?
He's like, if you want, because like the whole point of like getting R is because you want another point. Like you're using P and Q to get R. And then if you want another point, you can just reflect R across the x-axis and you have another point. I remember him saying that.
Oh, was this related to? He's like, there's technically you always get two or something, and you can.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's what he said. He was like, you get 2 points every time you do point addition, not one. That's what he said.
Where are my notes? Did you guys record what he said, like the lectures?
I have a WAV file on my computer.
Me too. So I can. I didn't get this the first half of the second day. If you have, do you have that?
I might not, because like I fell asleep because my flight canceled and I stayed up all night in the airport.
Oh, wait, really? That sucks.
Yeah, that was epically terrible. But
Really? That was the first day? Are you talking about the first day when you showed up?
the first day, second half, I was like done.
Oh,
Listen,
yeah.
listen to this. It turns out that if you have 2 points, an initial point dotted with itself n times to arrive at a final point, finding out n when you only know the final point and the first point is hard. To continue our bizarre billiards metaphor, imagine that one person plays our game alone in a room for a random period of time. It's kind of meaningless. It is easy for him to hit the ball over and over, following the rules described above, and those rules are like, if you go from point A to point B and you're in positive Y, you just go down, straight down. And if you're in negative Y, so like in the third and fourth quadrant, you go straight up. So like that's again like the P plus Q point. So PQ reaches R, and then you go straight down P plus Q, and you end up in P plus Q. So that's the so-called rules in what I'm reading right now.
Can you send that link?
Yeah, I think I sent it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, the Ars Technica one. Anyways, following the rules, if someone walks into the room later and sees where the ball has ended up, even if they know all the rules of the game and where the ball started, they cannot determine the number of times the ball was struck to get there without running through the whole game again until the ball gets to the same point. Easy to do, hard to undo. This is the basis for a very good trapdoor function. So like this is why elliptic curves are used. So like on a big picture, big scale, why we're doing this. It's actually like a good example. Like if you pull up that link, there's like on page 2, there is this
Animation?
animation, yeah.
Actually, Martin, can you share your screen?
Yeah. Can you see it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, and it starts now. A, B, straight down, go up.
Oh, yeah. I remember him showed this on some slides. Yep, keep going.
So, Martin, you're saying that like it's easy to get to E, but it's really hard for E to get to A?
Pretty much, yeah. Just because, like, you know that you start at E, and you know that you end up at you know you start at A, but you know that you end up at E. But like, how did you get from A to E is very hard to do. Like, it's easy to get to E, obviously, just by following those
Interesting.
simple rules.
Mhm.
But from E to A, it's like almost there's like millions of different ways that you can do it.
Oh.
And so that's like the
So what does
whole.
E represent? Does E represent one of your public keys? Is
Yeah,
that-
exactly.
Oh, okay.
And
And
so
then
that's
what's your
that's the
private?
meaning.
I'm just
What's your
staring.
private key in this situation? In this, A is your private key. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
A is where you start from, I believe.
So A is the scalar. Scalar, your secret.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just your constant. You're some prime number on this gigantic fucking, field of 2 to 256. A gargantuan one, somewhere thereabouts. And you're picking a random prime. And then you have, and then you always use the same. So A is your private key. Is B like, what is B?
B is.
Is this like the equivalent of yeah?
Oh, B is so you keep so like B, C, D, and whatever. Yeah, so B, C, D are like how many times you're multiplying your private key over and over again. Actually, no. So A in this point is your scalar, or not your scalar, but your generator point or whatever your constant.
Generator point. Yeah.
And then your private key is how many times it took you to get to E. So that's 1. That's 2. That's 3. And so basically your private key is 3 in this case, if I understand this correctly. So, and and again, you know where A is because it's just some constant. But then E you can get to E in like 2 to the 256 ways, basically. So like it's very hard for you to figure out that it took you 3 different steps to get to E. I mean, like just a simplified.
Holy shit! Did the NSA come up with this?
I don't know.
Because the NSA came up with SHA-256. So did they come up with this, or did someone else come up with this and then they just used it? That's interesting.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I wonder, where did I read it?
I was in chapter 3. That's cool.
No, it's chapter 4. Keys. Yeah, by the way, Andreas's book is like actually pretty fucking good. Snelling large number.
Someone told me it's kind of a higher level. The guy sitting next to me on our
Yash?
Yeah, Yash. He said he's actually read it before he came in the class. He said that was just his skill, but he's like it doesn't go into the nitty gritty. Like it's not gonna tell you how to like parse a transaction like Jimmy did. Like it doesn't go to that sort of grit. Is that true?
Well, I've only written up to chapter 4, I think. Yeah, I need to start reading on 5. And so 5, I think, was wallets, yeah. I don't know where transactions are. Yeah, there's transactions. I mean, I don't know. He gets into the details quite a bit. Behind the scenes, outputs and inputs. This looks like a long fucking chapter. Yeah, I don't know. So far from like the up to chapter 4, Jimmy's seminar and the book are actually pretty somewhat equal. I mean, obviously it's the same information presented in a different way, but
Chapter 4 is like where a seminar ends?
oh no. Like so far, like when I compare the things that we've talked about during the seminar and what the book says.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that the number of steps that you take is the random number.
Oh, the number of steps you take is
your secret, I mean.
Oh, interesting.
Because that's 1, 2, 3.
So you said you said earlier A is your private key, but
no, I think that was wrong. In this case, I'm not sure what it could be the generator point. So like that constant that we multiplied our secrets in Jimmy's. I remember what was it? Session 2. What was it? Session 2.
And then would E be your public key, or is that wrong too?
What was that?
Would E be your public key, or is that off?
E
like
would yes, yeah. E would be your public key, I think. Because the 3 steps is basically your private key, for example. And yeah, because here we have point is the secret times G. And I think in that animation, G is A. The secret is the 3 steps that we take to get to. Well, no. I think the secret would be something else.
The secret's whatever you want it to be. The secret's your password. The secret's just.
It's just
entropy. It's just entropy. That's how you describe it. Yeah. The secret's just some entropy. I mean, he's like I did 555 186 whatever. He's like it immediately got stolen. It was just the entropy. He's like that was clearly not enough entropy. think it's just a random anything. It's just you need sufficient entropy. Normally, it would be like a gigantic amount of entropy. That's like that's created by saying have a like a how you have like a like a have you ever used like a heart or like you have like a seed
Yeah.
like wads. There's like 24 words, and that'll
Yeah.
generate basically like I assume like something's like 256 bits long or whatever. So you get a crap ton of entropy from that, and that's all it is. It's just creating some randomness that you then take. So you have your secret. I think is your G is your basic your generator point is your private key. That's right.
No,
Sure.
no, no.
No.
The generator point is a constant. Everyone knows the generator point.
Oh, got it. Okay, generator point's a constant.
Yeah.
Secret's some entropy.
Yeah, that you choose. And then the point is the public point. And so, and that's why, because you're dealing with such huge numbers, it's very hard. Because like at first I thought, are you guys still seeing my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, are you seeing the Jupyter notebook or are you seeing the animation?
Jupyter notebook.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and so at first I thought it was like, oh, okay, then secret equals point divided by G. But that's actually a lot of math, just because the numbers that we're dealing with are so huge. And that's why you can't have normal computers break it, because you're, again, like, you're dealing with numbers that are like 10 to the 77th. That's like what 2 to the 56th is in decimal. And like I saw that, and I remember those numbers from Andreas's book. 10 to the 77th is 2 to the 256th approximately, and there is 10 to the 80th atoms in our universe.
So it's like
so it's like impossible to even count.
That's ridiculous. So you couldn't do that, but you could do it in modular math then. Like in a finite field, you could do it.
It's sufficiently small. It's just that we're dealing with finite fields that are basically like, I think, 2 to 2.
You can't.
But still, the finite field is still, we're dealing with small finite fields just for an example. But I think in actual calculations, you're still dealing with like a finite field of 2 to the some crazy fucking number.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it would be too much still. Wait, generating a public key from a private key, that was chapter 4 or chapter 3?
Chapter 3 is just basically installing, just kind of setting up your own full node. Chapter 4. Let's see, chapter 4. Where the fuck was that I was like thinking of? Oh yeah, there it is. The size of Bitcoin's private key space, 2 to the 56, is an unfathomably large number. It is approximately 10 to the 77 in decimal. The visible universe is estimated to contain 10 to the 80th atoms. Like 10 with 80 zeros behind it. Like how big of I can't even like imagine that number.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like I think you would need the power of like a fallen star. The power of a supercomputer to figure out like someone's private key.
Yeah, there was actually another cool thing that it was again in this chapter, vanity addresses. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Now, what is that?
You can basically like put words in your address.
Oh yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So, but the thing is that like it grows exponentially hard once you keep adding more characters. Like this is it basically. Yeah. So if you want to add like 3 characters, a normal computer would probably take like under 2 seconds. You want to have 4 characters, 1 minute. 5, an hour. 6, 2 days. What is this? 3, 7, 11 characters, 2.5 million years. Because like the way that you're creating those is just you have this algorithm that's looking for a specific string of characters, for example, kids, and it's running multiple like hash after hash after hash to find that exact combination of characters. So that's why it takes so much fucking longer when you add just an extra character. So, but vanity addresses are kind of cool, I guess. But yeah. Anyways, to go back to, I don't know. I don't know. Well, maybe we should try to like find like some math person to explain this to us.
Yeah.
But
I
the
just read
thing
this
is that
whole
I'm not
article.
sure. It would probably actually be better to have like Jimmy or someone from like or John explain it to us, just because you have to understand it in this context. Because the way that a math person would explain it might be a little bit different than when you relate it to Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't know.
This is a great link though. Thanks. I'm gonna go through this. Actually, probably at work tomorrow. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe if ideally, you know, I don't think of the startup thing on the side too much. Like at work, if I actually get my headgear, maybe I'll come back next weekend and be like, okay, I can teach you guys everything. That's I don't know. We'll
that'd be
see.
nice.
I'm gonna be staring at this stuff. I hope all week long. I'll get fired, and then it'll be and then it'll be glorious. So
There,
we'll see.
there's this link too. I haven't actually gone through this yet, but I guess the Royal Fork or whatever used to be like one of the best technical blogs for crypto,
Oh, really?
or
Wow.
especially Bitcoin. Yeah, but I think it just kind
I
of died
always
off.
love it when it starts with explain like I'm 5. Okay, yes, that's my level. Okay,
Yeah, same.
you know, like it's like this totally new stuff. Perfect.
I was actually going to go through like LinkedIn Learn has a bunch of cryptography um like videos. I was going to go through them just to understand cryptography a little bit better. I think it might help to understand the different encryption techniques other than elliptic curve.
Yeah, like Diffie-Hellman or
Like
whatever.
a very simple
RSA.
yeah.
They don't all
That
just use they aren't they elliptic curves too? They just
no, no,
they're
they're
totally different.
completely different. Yeah. So like that article that we're just looking at with the animation, the first, because it's like 3 pages or something. The first page actually talks about RSA and like the Diffie-Hellman, the two guys that basically, um, well, no, RSA was because it's an abbreviation of like the people that came up with the RSA algorithm. But then Diffie-Hellman was some type of a signature structure similar to elliptic curves. Oh, actually, no, Diffie-Hellman, because there's elliptic curves, Diffie-Hellman. So like there's ECDH, which is like one type of signature structure, and then you have ECDSA, which is elliptic curve digital signature algorithm, maybe something like that. I don't know. I don't fucking remember. It's like all this amount of information that we're trying to like get into our heads in this tiny fraction of time. I think it
Yep.
definitely affects our lives. Okay, well,
Yeah.
let's see what else we have, because I actually have to drop off soon. I got to look at some school stuff, and I actually have to talk to my friend to plan a trip.
I think we did a decent amount for the first session.
Yeah. No, I
Dude,
think that pretty much covers it, I think.
dude, thanks guys. Thanks for sharing all those links. I think that was like super. This was like amazing. I'm really glad I did this whole thing just to meet you guys.
Yeah, no, for
Yeah.
sure.
No, exactly. It was amazing meeting all of you, and
No, and then I knew it beforehand that like going to that is not just about learning about this, about Bitcoin. It's actually like networking with like people like you guys that actually we share similar things. Yeah.
yeah. It was so nice to be able to talk to you guys and not have to like spend time convincing. Like I spend so much time convincing people, you know, like why I believe, and it's like you know you're able to immediately take the conversation to another level, right? And that was
Yeah, yeah.
Jimmy and
It's
John
so
talk,
weird.
right? And they're like the same thing, but like at another level, right? They're talking a whole another level, right? And so
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, I want to get to that level.
It's so weird to talk to people like that. It's like, aren't you just fascinated by the technology? Like, you're not fascinated by it. Like, you're just like automatically just shunning it. It's weird. Like,
Yeah.
I have all my people that sit around me at work because now I'm doing the blockchain, right, and researching that. They're my old teammates, and every time I mention anything about blockchain or Bitcoin, anything, the questions, the responses are always so negative. I'm like, wow, god damn, it's amazing. You know,
I
it's just
usually get Bitcoin. Bitcoin isn't dead. I'm like, oh fuck.
yeah, they're like volatility will never work. I'm like, dude, it's working. Like it has been working. I don't know where the fuck you've been. Like I could lose 99.9%. Like if you go down, but I tell people like you go down 99%. I would lost no principal. I don't know. Like if that's not real, I don't know what is. Like it's people believe in it. It's never going to crash to zero. It just isn't, unless there's some fatal flaw, right? But
like you can get rid of every single exchange, and I think it would go higher in value because the decentralized exchanges would rise.
Oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's even more valuable because there's no regulation involved in it.
Yeah.
by the way,
the
this,
middleman.
this last week, the first week I started doing like explaining to people like Bitcoin at like a high level, like blocks and hashing, proof of work, and teaching people, and it's actually really healthy because it's kind of blowing my mind that I'm like walking around Goldman Sachs and I'm like teaching this stuff to people, and I love teaching people, and but that no one knows anything about it, and I'm just like,
and imagine you're talking to people at Goldman Sachs that are pretty familiar with
yeah, and so that was what blew my mind. I realized, like, damn, having experienced that, it's very healthy for me because like now, from an investor perspective, I'm like more bullish than ever because I'm like, I'm gonna goddamn Goldman Sachs. These people don't even like their technology. I'm in the technology division, and like everyone's like scratching their heads, like I don't get it, And I'm like, fuck, like, that they're open to it, but I'm just like, okay, these are people who are smart, they're motivated, they're plugged in finance, they want to learn bigger, they don't get it, they're not invested. I'm like, we got a long fucking way to go. We have a long way. We got a long like 100x is like, to me, like that's not even. We're going beyond that too. We have a long way to go. I tell everyone, like,
20 years, and then everyone's on it, right? Because in the 1990s, like no one really believed in the internet. Like no one thought like anyone would trust it to buy products. No one thought Amazon would work. And even when Amazon was working and making a shit ton of money, everyone was like, it's way overvalued. There's no way. And this is like this is like 100x below what it's currently worth. People were like, it's not, or I think 1,000, like probably 500x what it's currently worth. People were like, it's not this valuable. And like, it takes a lot of convincing.
Because the mindset back then was like, well, there's like, there's no intrinsic value. It was the same sort of argument. There's no intrinsic value in a Facebook. It's just this thing on a computer, on your monitor. Like what's the value there? It's a bubble. It's just there's just a bunch of people like putting ads in it. Websites paying other websites to put ads in it. It's like it's a big circle jerk, and there's no actual intrinsic value. But you realize, no, there actually is emergent value out of that stuff. It's information. There's something useful.
It was an MVP. I mean, the big thing about Facebook that like really crushed it, like what makes them like able to make multi-billion-dollar deals for like Instagram or whatever, like because their pixel, the Facebook pixel is so powerful. Like they're better at advertising than Google is.
Sorry, you cut out at least. You said your pixel? What?
The Facebook pixel like is so powerful. Like they have all of the data. Like they have something called lookalike audiences, which means like if you put a Facebook pixel on your website, you start like you actually code some JavaScript out to study the actions of your users. It'll build, like when you do an advertising campaign on Facebook, it'll build an audience similar to the audience that's visiting your website based on those actions because it has so much data on the behavior of everyone. So and what's crazy is their data doesn't just belong, like they're not getting data just on Facebook. They're getting data from every single person who is using Facebook ads. So every website that's using Facebook for advertising, they have all of their data. They have
I've never heard about Facebook Pixel.
Yeah, but that is fucking nuts. But again, that brings us again back to the point that like I heard, I think Jimmy said it like the last night that we spent downstairs at the bar or whatever, how like it was a very accurate description of today's world. Like Facebook, Google, Amazon, all those fucking huge ass conglomerates are hiring the best engineers to work on advertising. And that's why you have Facebook Pixel. And you don't have something fucking magnificent as Bitcoin that's probably going to change so much more than me buying some ads on Facebook or Amazon or Google or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
It's like, totally right. That's crazy. It's like, how many people are working on Bitcoin right now?
Yeah.
Like
it blew my mind when he's like, yeah, exactly, full time. He's like, maybe like the whole ecosystem, there's like 50 committers last year, I think he said. And then he said Lightning Network, there's like 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well, I think the cool thing about Lightning, because I'm on Lightning Labs's like L&D's Slack channel. This is like the most popular Slack channel I've ever, or like place that people can talk about the same thing I've ever seen. Like I wouldn't look at it for a day or two, and it will tell me that I have like thousands of unread messages.
Wow.
And they have like very like many different channels and shit. So like Lightning is fucking happening on a second basis, not on a daily basis. And it's crazy because like they have like maybe 1,000
yeah.
people on their channel and shit like that. Like over 1,000. It's about 1,500 right now actually.
Yo, can you
And
You know that Lightning Network transaction, the volume of transactions is going by 40% per day,
yeah,
exploding.
Jonathan,
yeah,
where are you finding that number? Like, can you link me to that?
Yeah, I saw it on so we got a post on Twitter like about a week back. Let's see. I don't know if I can find it. Give me a second.
Yeah, I'd love a link to that Slack channel, Martin.
yeah. Let me see if I can actually invite you to it.
I was looking it up, trying to find it too.
Yeah, I can. What's your email?
Sure, I'll just type it in right here. Chat.
Yeah, mine's long also.
Okay. It's not that long, like either of your emails.
Let's see.
All right, I just invite you guys. Another channel that I joined that I thought it would be like pretty fascinating is the Elements Slack channel. And the Elements project is basically all the cool technologies that are happening, like confidential transactions. SegWit came out of kind of from like this project. Fucking yeah, SegWit. There's some Lightning Network talk. Let me let you send you the link. It's like all the cool additional technologies and features that are going to make Bitcoin even more amazing than it is today. That's what Elements project is. And I think it was started by the Blockstream guys again. And here's the link. And if you go to their community, they have like a link in there that you can join their Slack channel. You can get an automated email. Yeah, so SegWit, Schnorr. And some other crazy shit.
Trying to find sorry, I'm trying to find the 40% per day thing. Oh, here we go. This is where I saw it. Okay, so don't know if this is still the case, but here is the source.
Yo, Martin, I didn't know people were working on confidential transactions for Bitcoin. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's actually Greg Maxwell was like that's one of the reasons why he left Blockstream to work on confidential transactions and shit like that. Like those next steps in Bitcoin that are gonna be very, very important.
Dude, this is great. Thanks.
But yeah, Bitcoin's mainnet.
P2SH. What is that?
Beta script hash.
Wow.
But oh yeah, I've seen that that website. Holy shit. Channels. Yeah, I swear looking at this same graph with the how many open channels are on mainnet right now.
Did it just start on 118?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
This is another good graph. Let me find it.
When it says open channels, is it basically like a WebSocket kind of deal? Is it no?
You have like a channel between two different nodes, and now you have like some net difference between the two nodes. Is kind of like my nebulous little understanding. That potentially needs to be settled back to the chain. Is that I yeah, don't take my word for that, but yeah, I think that's what I think it means. Um,
Yeah, so for example, if like all three of us were to set up our own Lightning nodes, we would all maybe connect to each other and also connect to some other nodes. But then I think you actually have to maintain that channel. So it's like almost like yeah, it's kind of like, I guess as a concept, it's similar to WebSockets. You have to like maintain a persistent connection. Um, but this
my understanding
website
is
that I
like if
just,
you're transacting, like if you're Alice and you're transacting with Bob, you
uh-huh,
guys can have a channel open. You're like, you have some net balance between you two.
yeah,
And then Bob and Charlie can also do the same thing. They can have some net balance between the two of them, right? But
correct.
then now if Alice wants to like exchange
With Charlie.
some value with Charlie, she can do it through Bob,
Yep.
and is basically my understanding without actually opening directly a channel with Charlie. So that you don't have to fund a new channel from off the chain. You can just do it somehow through this network and not have to, you don't have to fund a new channel. That's
Yeah.
basically the balances are all settled between all of them.
That's my understanding of it as well. And another
Yeah.
cool concept that I heard recently was that there's a lot of networking behind all of this, like computer networking, just because of, again, Alice getting to Charlie through Bob. And one of the security, I guess, features that they implemented with Lightning in general is that Alice knows what her end node is, but Bob does not know that Alice was the first node and that Charlie is the last node. So it's
Wait, say
only,
that again. I didn't follow. One more
yeah.
time. Sorry.
So if you have Alice, Bob, and Charlie again,
Yep.
Alice knows that she needs to get to Charlie, and Alice just sends it to Bob and basically tells Bob, oh, I guess the algorithm figures out like what the next node would be from Alice to Bob. So that's why Alice sends it to Bob. But Bob doesn't know that even though the next node next to him is Charlie, he doesn't know if Charlie is the last node or if it's just one extra step in the path.
It's like onion routing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's onion routing that exactly. Yeah.
Oh, so it's literally onion routing. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they use onion routing
And
for Lightning.
and
Yeah.
does Bob similarly not know if Alice was
Was the first.
the first?
Yep, exactly.
Does it go both ways?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I guess it makes a lot of sense to have it that way, just to maintain some privacy.
Huh.
But yeah. All right. Do you guys want to do it again next Sunday?
Dude, totally down.
Definitely.
4 p.m.
Yeah.
What is actually next Sunday? Yeah, I can do it next Sunday. But the following week, I'll be in Colorado.
Are you going to be
through Sunday?
Are you going to be to Eat Denver?
No, oh yeah, I saw that, but no, I'm actually going on like a ski trip with my parents. Like I'm meeting them there. But yeah, someone sent me the East Denver thing, but not really that interested.
1 hour earlier is easier for me. I forgot who was the one that wanted to do it later. Was it yourself, Martin?
It was me, yeah.
Okay.
5 my time, 4 my time, and then 6 your time. I think that'll work. Is that cool with you, Pawan? The only shitty thing is like I'd liked it to be a little bit later, just because usually on Sundays I catch up with like house chores, like cleaning and finishing up homework. Every once in a while I have to like meet for group projects, and if it was like right in the middle of the day, it's just a little bit harder for me.
7's fine. So,
no, I mean like four is fine too. I'll just make it work. I don't like, this is a lot more important.
I'm gonna make it work. This is like
the
best thing right now for my growth, I think, hanging out, like just talking about this stuff with you guys.
No, I agree. That's why. I think
like
4 is
those
fine.
moments where you guys, you remember, I think you said this or that, and I'm like, oh yeah. That's really good.
Yeah.
Really helpful.
Yo, Martin, do you have a LinkedIn?
Yeah. Let me add you. Hold on.
Cool.
Oh, I actually sent you an invite, so it should be in your pending or whatever invitations, because it says pending on mine.
Awesome. Yeah.
Did you add me also?
What was that?
Do I have you also?
I think so.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Do I? Wait, or do you have it? Do you send me a pending request? What's your last name, Martin?
Izdi Mirsky, IZDI, and it should probably show up.
Got it. Yeah.
But yeah, I have you.
Oh yeah, it's weird. I was typing your name Martin, and it was showing me all the other people instead of showing you first. All right, cool.
All right. So next Sunday at 4 my time, 3 Pavon's time, and 6 Jonathan's time. Do you like John or Jonathan?
I go by both. It
Okay.
kind of like the bigger the crowd I'm in is the less like response I would come to John because there's a billion Johns. So you know what I mean. So
Okay, no, that makes sense.
so yeah.
All right, sweet. Well, cool. Maybe we should start our own little Telegram channel just so we don't like spam those guys and we can add like random people.
Like that.
Post your numbers in the Zoom chat and I'll just start a new channel.
Awesome.
Okay.
It's crazy. It's like it's like look at the early days of the internet when I look at this Rec Explorer.
It's
You know, it's like it's getting so much bigger, so much faster. It was like
Yeah, just because we have the internet, it's so cool.
I mean, I like 50 nodes. And then like, you know, a few days later it was like over 100 and now we're like 321 and badass. This is what. Did you also see the charts how of like how Bitcoin's price is cratered like 100x? Or sorry, the transaction fees have as a result of that. You know, the result of Lightning Network going live.
But I wonder if like that many people are actually using Lightning Network. And the thing about Lightning is that like there's not that many people that actually use it on mainnet. So like I don't know if like I don't think that Lightning's actually doing anything yet.
But
Because,
I think there's a lot of nodes. They're all running release candidate nodes, but
oh yeah, there's a shit ton. Like I know that like even some of the
it doesn't
stack
take.
channels I'm on, yeah, people talk about it all the time.
But it doesn't take many, right? If there's some if like some high volume exchanges start adopting it, it could
Yeah,
be
no. If Coinbase and Bitfinex, for example, had a channel, like there would be no transactions.
yeah. Yeah.
But I don't think they've gotten to that point yet because they don't even have fucking SegWit.
You're familiar with Joho's Minpool, right?
Yeah, yeah. I was looking at that. Like there was like 1 and 2 satoshis, are like the biggest.
Are we down to that now?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
and it's like 25,000, like less than 25,000.
No
Nuts.
fucking way.
I
The
know.
last time I checked this, we were like at 10. Now we're at like literally 1 or 2. Holy fuck me. That's amazing. So
I
we
know.
really are down. We went from $40 literally down to like 4 cents now. And that doesn't include if you're doing all these transactions like on Lightning Network. Fuck, you know, you got like that means you
I
got
know. It's nuts.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Wow. I don't understand how the price of Bitcoin's not blowing up because of this. Because man, it sure did tank when the transactions got to 1,000. Everyone, you know, Twitter's and you know, bad news gets all over all over the media, and then like you know, but this like this, I haven't heard almost anything about this. No one talks about how the fees are just absolutely cratered. Just out there in the media. Wow, it's amazing.
No, that's so funny. There's some Hacker Noon article that says Bitcoin's tech is outdated. It's so funny that people fucking say that.
Because if you're in the public's point of view, think of it, put yourself in the shoes of like a tech, like someone who doesn't know anything about tech. Like, yeah, but there's all these blockchains that do so much more. They can, they store all this stuff on them, and
But then it's
I
like,
think ignores the scalability problems with a lot of these other chains. Specifically the one I just mentioned, like the long-term space requirements of storing everybody's shit on every node and every node has to process it. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't have value or use cases, but that shit doesn't scale. It's like,
yeah.
and so I mean, there's definitely value there. It's just that in the long run, it's not going to scale as well as Bitcoin. Especially now we have mass coming around Bitcoin. Merkleized
Abstract syntax trees, yeah. No,
Yeah, that's a
cool
killer.
concept, yeah. The
Because
thing
now
is
you
that
have basically smart contracts that all the smart contracts taking up all the room on the chain.
Yeah.
You fit it for the transaction, and you get privacy out of that too. And
it's actually surprising that this was posted on Hacker Noon, because I've always liked Hacker Noon's articles, but coin and crypto, whatever this person is. I don't know.
now I'm looking at the mempool size too, is just cratered because of this. Holy crap, the mempool size. Instead of it being like the old 500s, 1 gigabyte or whatever, this guy's like storing everything. It basically, what is this? 5 megabytes? Not even 2. Oh, total of 56 megabytes. Okay, still that's pretty low. Wow. So I'm just sitting here staring at Joe and full the data on there right now.
Yeah, no, it's crazy how much it's dropped. But all right, I'm gonna drop off. I'll let you guys if you're gonna keep on chatting, but gotta get some shit done. So next Sunday, 3, 4, 6 p.m.
Yeah,
All right.
sounds good.
Cool. Sounds good.
Look forward to it.
Too.
All right.
Later, guys.
All right.
Totally forward to it.
Wait, before we leave, I recorded the session. Do you want me to delete it, or do you want me to send it to you guys in a private video link?
You can keep it for now, and maybe we can just go back to it at a later time. I don't know, or maybe just send a link to the. Did you guys get the Telegram channel that I added you on?
Let me check. Hold on. Yeah. Gold BTC check.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pavan, did you get it?
Would I see it on my phone, or where would I see it?
Probably. Here, I just mentioned you in it because it says that all of us are online. It's called BTC Tech.
BTC Tech. Yeah, I see it. Man, I don't know how I missed it. The first one. All right, cool.
All right, cool.
I'll send the link over there.
Okay, sounds good. All right, this was pretty awesome. So I'll talk to you guys later.
Later, guys.
Yeah, bye.
Thanks. See you guys. Bye.